Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to Radio Underground. Shit.
Radio Underground, episode 178. We've been a little bit attacked by. This is our third attempt at episode 178, by the way.
Yeah,
and we've had attacks from foreign entities. We don't know what's going wrong. They're attacking our tech.
that's it has to be what it is.
Well,
It's totally
yeah,
not.
we got swatted.
We got swatted. A lot of bad stuff has happened.
It was as soon as you mentioned the word porn, all of a sudden our sound went.
Yeah, it was this craziness, man.
Yeah,
There's a biker gang outside now. Great.
I just drove by. They're
All right.
probably the ones that helped swat us. It was the government hired the Hell's Angels.
Yeah, it's government hired Hell's Angels 1% gangs to stop my show.
Yeah,
And they don't like what we do. They don't care for what we do. Yeah,
No.
raise your fingers right.
We have been dealing with them a lot.
oh yeah,
So Andrew, because you got fucked over and your song isn't going to make the audio cut what I put on iTunes and all that, I'm going to play you at the end. So Andrew, you're the ending song from this episode.
you're the happy ending.
So yeah, the happy ending is going to be AWH song Salt.
Yes.
No salt. Sorry, no
If
salt.
we somehow make it that
No
far,
salt
we
in the
don't-
house.
Yeah,
no.
no salt.
We don't lose our sound again.
So, anyways, how you guys doing tonight? Besides all these issues we're having,
Doing great.
good.
Superior.
Glad.
What are you
man.
telling us about your porn addiction?
Okay, it's not an addiction. It's a relapse. There's a difference.
A prolapse. He had a prolapse.
He had a
So,
prolapse.
so we're in the Radio Underground Facebook group chat with people who currently or don't so currently work with me are in there, and Morgan mentioned Sasha Grey,
Yes, I've
and
heard
it put me down a rabbit hole, and I had to watch her stuff because her stuff always looked unsanitary.
Yeah.
And she has that real fair skin, almost elven-like,
Oh yeah.
and it would always get red and look infected.
I mean, I don't know.
I had
I've,
to look at it.
I've personally never seen her before, so I don't know. I don't watch that kind of stuff, so I didn't know who she was.
Also, check out the
That's a lie.
Wish You Were Here mashup featuring Adrian.
We'll check that out.
We'll definitely. Yeah, I haven't checked that out.
Oh, is that on your page?
Yeah, it's on his page.
Your
We'll check that out.
page.
Channel?
For those
On your channel?
They say 90% of listeners check out the first hour of what you do. So check out AWH Music. There's our reach.
Reach and
We're
pull.
gonna send you in there. All right. So, anyways, I watched probably about 10 scenes. Brian brought up a good point. I watched like 10 scenes and I didn't wank or anything. I just watched it. He's like, that is weird that you just watched.
Yeah,
That is weird.
Most people don't just watch.
But I didn't want to wear myself out for the show.
No, I mean, I get it.
I just had to look.
Okay, but where does it come in that you were considering skipping the show? Is it because you were getting ready to just like fucking jerk yourself crazy till you
Yeah,
passed out?
well, in that time, well, also I have my asthma is really bad,
Mm.
and I knew if that I'd went on, like my asthma's been acting up like today really bad. So if I had
okay.
started flogging myself, it might have
Made it worse,
fully
right?
activated.
We
it.
would have to come over to take you to the emergency room.
Yeah, again.
That's what happened.
You know, the funny thing is the time you guys had to take, I was starting to feel better, like and that next day. But what I did is I went and I had Taco Bell with all the flour and inflammation from
Oh,
their carbs,
Oh, yeah.
and it just all of a sudden everything closed up again. It was nice
It happens. Taco Bell
after
does that.
drinking and doing the show. So yeah, I relapsed on Sasha Grey.
It's funny you bring up the porn thing because there is a Reddit I started following called NoFap.
Oh yeah. You didn't you just finding out about these guys?
I never really pay attention to it, but it was just some of the guys. It's like basically a support group for these guys who are fighting the addiction of fapping
Yeah.
because they can't stop doing it. It's pretty funny. Like this guy's like, it's like I stopped fapping a month ago, and I had to take my test for college and stuff, and I aced it because I don't fap.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah,
One guy's like, I started working on my legs, like working out.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, the thing is, some of them believe that like it gives them supernatural powers.
Well, I know that's why I started following it more closely, because I didn't realize that how committed they were. First of all, they're really committed, and also
To fapping.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's funny.
And the thing about it is like another thing. It's called semen retention.
Oh yeah.
And if you do ST as they call it, and you hit 30 days, 60 days, your test is supposed to shoot up.
Really?
Supposedly, and that's remember the old school like wives' tale about boxers. They wouldn't let them screw women like back when Rocky.
Yeah, because it
Marciano-
it keeps your testosterone levels up. Yeah.
But the reality is why they didn't want them to do it is because they're worried about what goes along with it, the drinking, the partying, the women.
Right.
But they've found out that the reality is that a healthy young male can perform like athletically pretty much on par with anything as long as it's like once a day or something.
Yeah.
You don't want to do 4 or 5 a days if you got a fight coming up, but
Yeah.
once a day, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, you used to have all kinds of boxers and everything that believed in the no sex and no finishing before a big fight.
No.
Or Chris Bird was a big believer in that.
No, I had a no. I don't want to sound like a total what do you call them? The people that are like political hypocrite.
Yeah, hypocrite.
Yeah,
A hippogriff.
But I relapsed. I stopped watching porn not for the moral stuff. It's because there was I guess it's technically moral. There's a lot of human trafficking.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to be a part of that and giving them my views, because views is actually we're the product.
Yeah.
And if I view that stuff, I'm sending it out in the
Well,
ether.
I just watched the non-trafficking porn.
Yeah. I don't watch any real porn anymore. It's all the people that put out their own content now.
like this is like ethical farm raised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
This
with free
ethical,
range
organic,
chicken.
free-range
free
porn.
range chicken.
I watch free range.
They got to
porn.
put other. I am not trafficked. I was born here in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I was.
She like beforehand. She holds up like all her information, birth certificate, and everything. I'm doing this on of legal and free mind. And
What about that 6'5" tatted up guy behind? No, don't mind him.
No.
I
It's
want
fine.
it.
That's
I
my
want it-
boyfriend.
I want it just as bad as him and all 60 of his friends.
Yeah.
60.
Strophos here from Eastern Europe is totally not threatening me to do this.
No.
This is totally organic. I worked for the highly honorable Tate brothers for many years,
That's funny.
and everything's fine.
No, I knew NoFap was a thing. I've never been, a part of it, because fuck that. But I didn't realize how committed they were.
Taking a few weeks off is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the Premise Land even says it here,
Yeah, well, he
Taking a
he
few
works
weeks
in the
off.
healthcare industry, so
Yeah.
he would know.
It says, there's benefits to no fap, and then there's a lot of benefits to fapping.
Yeah.
So, and then taking a few weeks off is okay.
Sorry, Brian. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine.
I did. I have to real quick interject something, Brian. I pride myself on trying not to cut people off, but it seems like I listen like I don't know, like 10 of our episodes in my truck just to see like how mostly our audio levels are different from different phases.
Yeah.
And the only person I tend to cut off is you.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So I was like, you'll be going to talk like, you know what, guys? Let me. I'm sorry.
used to it. My wife cuts me off all the time. I'm sure she's
talking
listening.
about no fap,
So
no wife.
hi, hun. Why, like this one, some of the people in the group, like why I recommend rope skipping for NoFap warriors. So there's just some of the things they come up with to take up their time and stuff. That's what was funny. Not funny, but it was just kind of, I thought it was humorous. It's like, I'm not going to fap anymore. I'm just going to do leg day every day.
Well, basically, then they'll get in good shape.
Well, the thing,
But this one, it's not funny, but it is. He's like, please help. I was watching some sexual stuff on YouTube. Not exactly sex.
Please help.
Got turned on, got erection, didn't know about, so by mistake touched my dick. Please help. I am suicidal.
all right, dude, just jerk off, man.
Yeah,
At
just-
that point, just do it.
dude.
Just-
Yeah, seriously.
it's not that big of a deal.
But then one guy's like, I'm going on day 60. And the guy's like, 60, that's it? Like, they're still trying to show each other up.
Yeah,
wow.
60.
60, amateur.
Amateur
60
hour.
days? 60 days.
Funny thing, I brought
I
up
couldn't live.
I brought up the Tate brothers, but one of the things that they say that I agreed with, Andrew said one time, he goes, if NoFap was like made the like greatest conquerors and the greatest people, like Genghis Khan had like 1/3 of everybody in Asia is like descended from him.
Well,
He was banging
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's really the way to go.
It's like 3% of the earth now is
Yeah.
distantly descended from him. He was doing it
He was
all the
banging
time.
every chick he could.
And he conquered everything he wanted to. If he wouldn't have, died at 60, he would have kept going.
There were no-fap harems, fellas.
Yeah.
In these
Intermediate
Intermediate fasting.
It's intermittent fasting.
It is. But intermediate fasting is
intermittent fapping. I could try that.
Intermediate fasting is kind of
Now, I will say I did try it because when I first heard about it, and I did I think it was
That's okay.
it was like 20 days or something.
20 days.
And it wasn't really that bad because I'm old now. But for these young guys that are in their 20s, I mean, I'm talking, this is like 4 years, when it was first.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, this is before COVID. I was like 39 or 40. I don't know exactly how old.
Mm-hmm.
And I went like close to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice any difference.
See,
I did. I mean,
well.
the only thing was I was sniffing the women at work, like Joe Biden.
Well, like,
and then when you finally, took care of business, you probably shot a hole in the wall.
yeah, it was a back wall.
Yep.
So before I went in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
I had no desire. For like 9 months, I didn't at all. Like, I tried to a couple times and it just didn't work. So I was like, okay, it's got to be because I'm sick. Something's wrong. So I just didn't. And then when they cut that part of my colon out, then I got home and was like healing up.
Yep.
And I kept having like insane sex dreams,
Yeah.
like tons of them. And I was like a 14-year-old again.
Did you write them down so you could send them into like penthouse?
Well,
letters?
yeah. But I was like a 14.
You hear the kids, NoFap is cancer, literally.
I was for fucking. I was like a 14-year-old again. There, I was waking up and like leaking, like puberty,
Just flooding out of you.
Yeah.
You're 50 years old and you're trying to sneak sheets down into the laundry room like so mom doesn't see them.
Right. I was like, what the fuck,
like,
man?
oh, I'll take those from you. No.
And I mean, like, I would wake up, I was like, oh my God. And I would remember the vivid dreams. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, dude. I had underwear stuck to me.
Sometimes like, myths or these restrictive behaviors, like they die pretty hard. I asked a coworker, he was on keto for like a long time.
yeah.
Like, man, do you feel better? And I was like, no. I'm like, what?
No.
Like, you don't feel better? Like, like, no. I'm always hungry and it's miserable. I'm like, oh.
I've told this before about keto.
I was like, okay, but you lost a lot of weight. He goes, yeah, but I'm dying. I feel like I'm dying. I'm like, all right.
Damn.
I'll go eat some rice then. Simple stuff. Rice.
I've said it before about keto. When we did it, my son and my wife did really good on it. They lost weight. My daughter couldn't do it. And then I was doing it. And I was going to work every single day, and I was freezing every single day. Like I was
keto flu.
I was cold. And it wasn't warm outside, but it was like spring. It was like 45, 50 degrees out. But in our building where there's heat, I'd be sitting there at the desk and I'd be typing, like shivering because my body just had nothing to burn. So now I started doing again where I wasn't eating in the morning. I wasn't eating until like 10 o'clock, but I was drinking a protein shake. But it's basically what's the one? Not whey protein, but the collagen protein.
Yeah,
collagen protein, and then with the Gatorade, and it had some other super green stuff in it. But there's no carbs. And the same thing. I was like, my fingers were cold. Everything was cold. I'm like, nope. I started eating oatmeal again first thing in the morning, and I've been fine. So I know exactly what it is. So fuck keto.
Well, and
see, it's just
like
it's
Ted
all
says.
these-
Like Ted says, the caveman diet, which works if you actually live like a caveman.
I can live like a caveman.
Well,
I'll grab a
thing
chick,
is
club
like,
over the head,
This
drag him back to my cave.
Fight a pterodactyl.
none of these diets work for everybody.
No,
they're not
know?
all made for everybody.
There are plenty of people I've met and talked to that said it worked for them, but then there's people that didn't. I mean, like, I remember 20 years ago, I was dating this girl, this Kristen girl, and she like went full on vegetarian and gained 45 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, it's they
Then she
start
went to
piling the carbs.
Yeah, but then she went to the Atkins and was just eating meat and vegetables, and she lost it, and she was healthy. She like
No, the
she
40
felt
pounds
healthy.
are worth it if the tits went bigger.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but she was like, yeah, she already had big boobies too.
Oh.
Well,
So she
bigger.
already-
You never get wrong.
Yeah.
Here, your wife, blah, blah, blah. My name is Brian. I like to talk, blah, blah.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
That's true.
Exactly. Everybody's body's different.
I need him here for that,
you know,
though.
like see, like because I was
How
trying.
was your 13-and-a-half-hour day of work?
Oh, come on, that's nothing. She could do 15.3.
That's right.
Yeah.
Easily.
That's right. You need to make more money where he don't have to be tired for my show no more.
Yeah.
He
So
don't
I'm
work.
drinking
He
these
don't work.
energy drinks and stuff.
Yeah. I love I was told, oh, if you want to work more hours, you can. I'm like, yeah, if I did,
No.
I would be here, wouldn't
No.
I?
So I've
If I wanted to work more hours, I wouldn't walk out of here at fucking noon on Friday, now wouldn't I?
You want to know how I get overtime? Is if I log into my computer before I go to work and check some of the forms and stuff, I can punch in before I go to work, then go to work my 8 hours, and then come home and finish up my day at home. So basically I'm getting like, I don't know, an hour of overtime sitting in my house.
Christina's right. Titties are cool, Christina.
What would you know about tits?
Yeah. So,
Anyways.
but I've told you guys about the Rhino.
Sometimes
Stan
titties are hot.
I told you guys about the Rhino Stan Efferding.
Yes.
And basically, he goes, I've studied diets, workouts, steroid cycles, because he was a bodybuilder, powerlifter. He's done it all.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, he's got OCD. He goes, I've studied
I
this.
have not seen yours.
He goes, I've studied it. He goes, I've studied all this stuff for decades. And he goes, here's what I found out. The best workout program, the one you'll do.
Yeah.
The best diet is the one you'll stick
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
He goes, there's no other way to put it. He goes, because they're all work if you stick to them. The problem is none of us stick to them.
Right.
And the people that do it works, and the people that don't stick to it, well, then we get fat again, like me. You'll relapse to fatitude.
Yeah.
So it's just the one you'll do and the one you'll stick to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you. Exactly how it is.
Well, like, all right, so
he goes, there's a guy that did a 7-Eleven diet and lost weight and improved all his blood markers just to prove that you could lose weight and be healthy eating exclusively at 7-Eleven. And a guy did it at McDonald's.
yeah.
Cole Robinson. Or Cole?
Yeah.
Hey, fatty. He did that too. He ate all at McDonald's to prove that you could. The issue is that they made that movie Super Size Me.
yeah.
Yes.
And that guy, what he did is he ate a bunch of shakes and Big Macs, and that, of course, that'll fuck anybody up.
Yeah.
That's how I eat. That's
Yeah.
why I'm dying.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So it's all about the approach.
Well, you think about the Jared Fogle and the Subway diet. I mean, that's not
It's a high carb diet.
Yeah, but what he did was he stuck with it because it was probably delicious, but also he walked a lot. He was
Yeah.
working out all the time.
And he also ate only 6 foot subs or 6 inch. 6 inch.
foot.
He only
Man, he
ate
got
Only
he
a party
he only ate
subs.
6 foot subs.
That's
Extra
what I-
Italian
that's what I
dressing.
do.
Like he ate none of the dressings on
Yeah.
it. He didn't,
I'm
like-
telling you, eating 6 feet of sub a day ain't working for
like
me.
I think the only condiment he would put was like mustard on.
Mustard's the
some of
only one you gotta do. It's like 5
Yep.
calories for mustard.
them. Yeah,
It's nothing.
yeah.
And mustard
Well, it's
seed's good for
like
you.
every day. Like
Mustard
I have,
seed helps with
I
your
got
joints.
the giant thing of French's that I keep in the fridge at work, and
Yeah.
I either put it on my hard boiled eggs,
Yeah.
or I just eat a spoonful every day because Marie Osmond said that's what she does every day.
Ted says he lost weight chasing them kids.
Chasing them kids.
Your wife is home. Have a good show, man. All right.
That's us.
We're going to have a good show.
She's
Oh.
home finally.
And
Yeah.
thank you for listening, ladies.
You're all pretty. Is that all of us?
Yes.
Oh, thank
she thinks
you.
we're all pretty.
Thank you so much. I
I-
really worked.
You
on
don't
it.
need to tell me. I know.
I really
Yeah.
worked on it today. I worked around the house and then didn't shower
I laid around.
and then came in here.
I showered, but barely.
I did not shower today
I did not.
Yeah.
because I didn't really do anything except pick up a lawnmower. And that was it.
Yeah.
Like literally picked it up from Alan's house.
Did you cut the lawn?
Nah.
I
I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
I didn't do my lawn. I should have. Didn't.
I did.
Was tired.
Alan has that natural musk. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I shower every single morning before work.
Yeah, me too.
I take a cold shower every morning.
I don't do the cold, but yeah, I take a shower.
You better listen to Jocko Willink.
I started doing it like before all that. I started seeing all that shit. I started doing it because somebody
Before
else.
you wake up every morning.
Somebody else was doing it. It was like a year ago. Somebody was talking about it, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna try it. And I started just getting in the shower every morning when I get up. I just get in.
Yep.
I turn it on, and I just like within I turn it on, and then just within 30 seconds I walk into it. You know?
So it's pretty cold still.
Yeah, and then it starts to warm up, but it never gets really hot anyway. I don't run really hot showers.
What are, according to Jocko, what are the benefits of the cold shower first thing in the morning?
It gets you used to the stress of the day.
Like I don't.
Yeah, but I don't want to be stressed out before I go into the stress.
I've listened to
It's
him.
funny how he's got an amphibious assault soldier, and he kind of looks amphibious with those lips.
I've listened to him on Rogan once, but I really don't know who the dude is. I know he's like a
Navy SEAL.
yeah, but I don't really know a lot about him. But I started doing. I don't even remember who the fuck it was that was talking about it last year. That was saying they
He's a
did cold
jiu-jitsu
showers.
champion as well.
Yes. Yeah. Like the cold plunges and stuff. They're supposed to be really beneficial to you. A lot of people in those little small European countries do them. You know,
Wim Hof and his method,
but
keeping you the Wim Hof
Well,
method, where you can.
I was
you
like
can,
looking
you
at
can
the
you can off. You can. What do you think? You can ward off hypothermia.
yeah,
If you breathe a certain way.
yeah, something like that.
I don't think it would work for me, but whatever.
But like people do the cold plunges, then like exercise, and then they do the saunas.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
Now, here's my thought.
Wouldn't
like,
sleep just.
I started
do
looking
it?
at those cold plunges, and they're expensive.
Yeah. And most of them do, if you do them, it's for a charity too. You're raising money for a charity.
But there's this like really cool chick that I have on. I shouldn't say that she's a woman, but she's on my Instagram, and I talk to
this
her a lot.
fucking bitch.
And she's like,
Who's
she
this
does-
slit?
She does like stretches and yoga and stuff, and she's got like her own like she's like certified like trainer or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, she does like her idea of the cold plunge is like first thing in the morning. She's got a pool at her place, and she's like, I just get in the pool early in the morning, and it's pretty cold, you know, and that's. But like I was like, yeah, I couldn't even imagine buying. I mean, these things are like fucking $12,000. She's like, just get a chest freezer. She's like, I know a lot of people that do that.
Well, you could. Well, the Midwest Farm Boy way, and I've seen Brock Lesnar do this. He just puts a bunch of ice in his bathtub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way you don't need a cryo tank. Just
Well, see,
get in
like-
an icy bath.
Well, see, like I'm small, so I could just buy like a regular like not a very big chest freezer,
Yeah.
and I just put water in it and plug it in and just have it set. If you fill it with water, it's never gonna freeze solid. It'll never get to. You'll never get to it. It'll never work hard enough to freeze it.
Yeah. That's a good point.
You know.
My thoughts on all of this stuff, and look, if it's like the great J.M. Blakely says, because if you think it works, then it works because
Yeah.
your mind tells you it works. So it doesn't matter if it, physiology, the physically works.
This is what
But
I
if you
know.
but if you believe it works, then it works.
yeah.
But the reality is, most of this shit is bullshit.
Well, yeah,
like-
well, I believe that like
the only thing that really works is steroids, and that's
well for what though?
And that comes
I
with
mean, you're talking
but-
about for getting completely
No,
huge and ripped.
No, for recovery, for just general recovery.
Oh, see, like the reason I started doing the cold showers because somebody was telling me that it refreshed them and made them like made them feel good throughout the day, and they didn't have this drop like in the
Like
middle of the
in
day.
moods.
And I'm not going to tell you that because it does not happen to me. I am all day long. I don't get like drained unless I eat sugar.
I think I'll always get drained because I drink coffee,
I only have a little bit.
and I'm always going to have that plunge in like about 2 p.m.
Yeah,
I
know-
always get drained because I can't stop fapping.
The only time I have like if I eat something sugary, then I do like an hour afterward. I feel
Oh yeah,
like
that's
fucking
that's
shitty.
normal though.
But like if I don't, I feel really good. You know, when I was just doing fruit and then like eating normal meals at work, I don't have any issues. If I
Yep.
start adding fucking Twinkies and fucking Hostess shit in with my coffee, then
Yeah. There's
it's
only
hard when your mom buys all that shit. Though,
there's only a brief period of my life where I wasn't tired ever. It's about from like 25 to 27. I was running every day, and I would drink like once a month maybe, and I was just I was pretty health conscious and young, so I recovered from all my workouts. So I felt great all the time for about 2 or 3 years.
yeah.
And then eventually, though, that
Yeah.
you start. Well, I'll do drink it once a week.
Yeah, that's always the
And
tough
then,
part.
then I'll eat like shit. Just instead of once a week, it's twice a week.
That's always how it
And
starts.
then it's 2 days, and then I'll eat healthy once a week. Maybe that'll work.
It could.
It doesn't.
Like you said, everybody has their own thing that works for them. It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like I have like seriously the digestive shit. I mean, like I can eat something and like it literally like goes right through me. 20 minutes later, I piss it out.
Or the vertical diet would.
It's horrible sometimes, but then sometimes I'm totally normal. But I don't know how to, like when I ask the doctors about it, they're just like, look, you're going to have to figure out what works for you and what doesn't. And I'm like, that's exactly why I don't need to follow any of these fucking diets because, so my thought was, as I was looking into
Peanut
this,
butter.
What I thought about is maybe what I'll do to start off is I'll do like, just eliminate everything and just do carnivore for like, and then just incorporate things.
and add in until you start getting issues.
Yeah.
You'll keep a food journal so you can
It's called
keep
the
track of everything.
elimination diet.
Yeah. So, but I think that would probably be the carnivore would probably be the way to go is try that and then add stuff in and see how it goes or subtract, whatever.
I think a very basic bodybuilder type diet, like 80% protein, 20% carb, probably work for most people.
Yeah. That's why.
But there is no one solution for everybody. If you But if you do more protein than carbs and no simple sugars, like ice cream and shit that everybody.
Oh God damn.
No booze, no processed sugar like canned of soda.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most people will do well with just that.
Yeah.
But it's hard, man, because then someone offers you nachos.
I know.
And then,
Or
you
like
know,
pasta.
pasta's fucking phenomenal,
Pasta's so
Yeah.
good.
Pastas.
So get a kiddie pool and a bunch of ice.
Well, and that's the other-
that's true, cuz.
pasta, especially if it's you can't buy like just like the crappy pasta.
No.
Like if you go to like Walmart and you buy Walmart brand pasta, it's
No.
cheap bullshit. It's good for a family and stuff, but it's not the healthiest shit. If you're getting all natural, authentic pastas made with like semolina and stuff like that, like the authentic style Italian stuff. The Mediterranean diet is the one, even more so than the Asian diet. The Mediterranean diet, which has a lot of carbs, is the healthiest diet in the world. They have more people living longer there than anywhere in the world, and all they do is eat fish and eat carbs and drink wine.
Smoke cigarettes.
But they smoke. But a lot of the old timers, especially in Italy, and stuff, they
don't
walk everywhere.
But when they don't smoke Americanized cigarettes.
No,
Americanized cigarettes like are full of fucking chemicals.
And the oils they use are all natural oils and stuff. So you can eat a lot. You can eat pasta.
Now,
But that's the thing. They don't eat as much as we do.
so
We have no moderation.
right. Well, that's the issue.
Is the amount we
that's
eat. You could eat
that's the thing. It's like
pasta twice a day.
they talk
but
about like
you
you got to
can't eat-
eliminate this, you got to eliminate that, you got to eliminate. No, you don't.
You can't eat half a
need
pound
to
at a time
eliminate
like
the
Americans
amount.
do.
You need to eliminate the amount of fucking food you fucking eat every time.
It's fucking fatty.
portion control.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Now,
know?
if it-
So now you think the Mediterranean diet's better than the finger diet?
What one's that?
That's when you stick your finger down your throat.
Yeah, can't beat that one.
Oh, you can, because then you get the acidic. The fingers starts melting in your skin,
Yeah.
and your teeth start rotting out. It's not good for you.
You lose weight when you get infected.
The
though.
Mediterranean diet is, well, percentage-wise, in the Mediterranean, there's more centenarians than anywhere in the world.
Right, yeah.
Per capita. There's not as many people in the Mediterranean as there are in Asia, which is the next best spot for centenarians, 100-year-olds.
Right.
The Mediterranean diet is really good for you, but the thing is, it's not processed stuff. The pasta we get here is shit. It's all processed stuff. It's all made mass manufacturing. The stuff they do there, they're either making them themselves or they probably know the fucking person that's making it for them.
I was making my own pastas for like 2 years. Did you know that?
And lots of
Our
olives,
stuff
lots of
goes
olive
down
oils,
easy.
Like I was
lots of fish.
I was making real, good quality, authentic pasta. I had a little pasta maker thing.
Yeah,
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I don't remember the reason I stopped because the thing fucking broke, and I just didn't buy another one. I was so dumb.
I was gonna start doing that, and then I didn't.
Yeah, like I would make up like a few different meals of it, and then you have to use it quick. You know, you have to use it like
Comes down to palatability.
but
Palatability.
Yeah,
How it
Yeah.
fits your palate.
yeah.
See,
But
I happen to
I
know.
don't like the best. Like when I first got out of the hospital, like I was having a hard time with certain things, like burger because of the grease.
Oh yeah.
Certain things I was having a hard time with, and it would it would hurt really bad, and it would I would have to force myself to throw up. That's how bad it was sometimes.
That'll be me tomorrow morning.
That was like over like the first couple months. It was bad a few times, man. I had to like make myself sick because of it. But like when I was eating every day, I'd eat avocado and
Yep.
yogurt and fucking whatever meat, But I wasn't eating a ton of pasta, and I wasn't eating a ton of other like a lot of carbs. I mean, I still was, but nowhere near like kind of what I do now.
But see
But I felt really good.
Yeah.
the people of Mediterranean
Yes.
and the Far East,
Yes.
they eat
in Middle Earth.
a pretty high carb diet.
They do.
Yeah.
But
But the issue is
Avocado pecker.
the American. A lot of people who get fat off carbs, you're just eating this bushels of it.
yeah. Exactly.
They,
Well,
they
yeah.
eat like two breadsticks,
But it's
with two breads, like two, not seven, like
Well,
we do.
and our amount, like if you ever go to none of us have been to Italy, but if you know anybody who's ever been to Italy, when you go there and you get their plates of food from these places, it's a plate of food and it's got some pasta on it and the sauce, whatever, but it's not like we do. When you get spaghetti, when you make it at home or you make it at your mom's or
It's
whatever.
big as this monitor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where you're eating half a pound of pasta at a time.
Oh, dude, there's like these deep dish like plates that Mom has.
Yeah.
They're kind of bowls, kind of plates.
Yeah.
And they're only pulled out when it's spaghetti day.
Well,
Yeah.
Don the Dragon Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
who
The greatest.
one of the greatest B-rate karate film guys ever.
Yes.
Yes.
Don the Dragon Wilson said he went to I went to the Cannes Film Festival. He told us this is his Rick Drayson interview. And he said when we come, the Americans, he goes, they have to get the American portions ready. Because the Americans are coming. He goes,
yeah.
They have their portions.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, and then the Americans are coming, double portions. Because that's what he goes. Because if you go to a diner here and you give a person a reasonable portion like people eat around the world, the American will be like, you're ripping me off.
Exactly.
But I mean, go to a Greasy Spoon right now and get a Cobb salad. I don't know of a single place where a Cobb salad isn't as big as this fucking cushion on that couch.
It is.
Every Cobb salad is like that
Huge.
much.
Right here, the restaurant right around
That
the
would
corner
feed a
here.
family in Europe.
Yeah.
Apple Annie's. I get the chicken. I get the chicken salad. It's just a chicken breast with salad.
Yeah.
And it's got egg and bacon and like blue cheese. But it's gigantic.
It's huge.
They all
There's a trash can lid full of salad.
the Europeans are smaller than us because they walk everywhere.
Yep.
And they smoke and they drink and they barely eat.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. Barely eat, smoke,
And that's
drink.
The wine was the other thing. It's like people are like, oh, they drink wine, but it's like wine. I mean, they probably don't drink it in moderation, but they probably drink a lot of wine. But wine has a lot of antioxidants, a lot of stuff that's actually kind of good for you.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't want to drink bottles and bottles and bottles a day.
They're complete drunks over there, but you can be pretty drunk
Yeah.
if you're healthy overall.
Yeah.
But if you're like us and you're already like redlining like me and I'm drinking, there's an issue. But
And that's the other thing that's completely different in our diets compared to what that.
By the way, the
Mediterranean
Brits are about as fat as us.
That's
by the
true.
way,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they're
so
different than the rest.
You
of
ever
Europe.
seen an English breakfast?
Yeah,
It's
they're-
like it's beans and
Well,
bread.
They're
and
fat
all
as
sausage.
fuck.
Well,
But
look at China now too. I mean,
China's getting fat.
Ever since
because that's a
they
West-
started getting the fast food
That's
places.
because of the
They're-
Western culture.
Oh, they're getting up there, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
I wanna
there's a
see
bunch
it.
of chunky China
I want to
chicks.
see it.
The Mediterranean.
That's the movie I'm going to make. It's called Chunky China Chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they've made it. I'm sure. Look it up. There's got to be a porn called that. I know it.
Damn it!
There's got to be. But
I just thought of
the
it.
other thing they do in contrast to what we do is, where you were saying like, what we tend to do, especially when you're talking with trainers and stuff, is like they're telling you 80-20 protein to carbs or 70-30, whatever it is.
Mhm.
I don't even think it's half. They eat very little in the way of proteins. They get protein from fish and they get protein from some meats and stuff, but the majority of their diet is beans. Well, I guess they get the protein from the beans too. Beans and legumes and pasta and
Poultry, probably.
poultry and fish.
Mm.
But they don't eat a lot of red meat.
We eat
Right.
beef here, motherfucker.
But
beef.
you know, here's another thing too. Why you probably have so many centenarians, centenarians,
Those people, 100-year-olds.
100-year-olds over
Old
there.
people who are old as fuck.
Here's another thing you got to think about. It's not just diet. It's not just that they're walking everywhere.
It's no
it's
stress.
that there is no stress.
Yep, they don't have the stress.
but it's this country is we've created our own stress.
True.
You know, I mean,
Do you want to win or not?
win what?
Exactly.
Do you want to win it?
Do you want to win or not, Al?
Yeah, we're winners.
Yeah.
You're
You
not first,
fucking
you're
loser.
last.
You want to be a loser? You want to be European?
29th worldwide in math skills in this country.
Yeah.
We're number one in
But you know we're
incarceration.
number. You know what? Yeah, you know we're number one. in?
Incarceration.
No, Olympic medals. Fuck
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Olympic medal.
We win.
Fast.
We're fast. We're
also
strong.
We're also number one in incarceration.
Yeah,
and
whatever.
we're number one in fentanyl overdoses too.
Yeah.
So
Prove it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, Asia, especially the Far East, China,
Mm.
and a lot of those where they become more westernized.
the Orient.
They've become way more westernized, and all
yeah.
those fast food places.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting some of the weight now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The
yeah.
unhealthiness.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's not just rice and fish and stuff for them anymore, man.
Well, not city folk.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Lots of KFC and other junk.
So delicious.
Subway. Although
They have
losing weight.
Subway over there.
It's Subway.
Oh, the Subway is the biggest fast food place in the world now. They
mean-
have more locations Subway in the world than any other
other than
place.
Big J calls it chemical death.
Subway.
Yeah.
other than
Yeah.
is it like really that bad? Other than the
Well, I mean, like their chicken's not chicken.
Well, I think they
I've
get,
never.
they get a lot of shit because their bread is technically considered a cake.
Yeah,
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 that's right.
what
They
it's
did
made
say
of.
something about like they
the
did say something.
multi-grain cake, basically. if you get
They
the-
did say I did read something that said that like their breads have like twice as much sugar
Mhm.
as any other breads or some shit like that.
Yep.
Like twice as much
And
as
you know what's
need or
funny is
something.
because if you go to like a Jimmy John's, their bread's better anyways. I
Yeah.
think Jimmy John's has great
Yeah.
bread.
yeah.
You know what
It's-
else is it's going on in Europe? They're twice as henpecked by their government.
It's true. It's a good point.
Oh yeah. I
They're
mean like
twice as-
no, it's true. They, you know, I saw something in. There was something they were showing. I think it was in was it in New York? Didn't they like start charging a fat tax on like?
Yeah.
And they started eliminating supersized shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But supposedly, their rate of heart disease in that state has went down a lot over the last fucking 4 or 5 years.
I don't believe
I
any
don't
bit of
believe it either, though.
I don't believe it.
But
But
here
like,
is something that is definitely a fact. The amount of people who smoke cigarettes in this country is way lower than it was a decade ago,
It's true.
and the rates of heart disease are way lower overall.
Yeah,
because of it.
but our obesity's way up, and
Right.
that's and it's cost us even more.
So
Right.
what
We're
you're
almost
saying is-
better off being smoking.
That's what I was gonna say. We need to smoke.
well,
again.
that's where I was getting, because it was proven that the rate of heart disease has went down from smoking. They said they made sure that they said it was from smoking. It went down.
Mhm.
I'm like, but it didn't from fat assery.
Yeah. That's
It
true.
went
Yeah, the thing is, And I hate cigarette smoke. I hate being around it.
Yeah,
It smells. I hate it. But the issue is it was actually a net better in terms of medical costs for people to be thinner and smoke than be fatter.
Yeah.
Because it does. I mean, it might help obvious things like, lung disease, lung cancer, and that is better. Maybe even some heart stuff. But also, when you're fat like me, your knees start going.
Yeah.
And then that all goes into the pool of cost. Because we're a commodity. We're not human, right?
Exactly.
The thing about another thing about cigarettes is that
I never wanted to do it. I'd be dead if I did.
they started putting the filters on them and chemicals in them, so that they didn't burn faster, so that they,
Yeah.
they start putting all this shit into them. Before that, though, I'm not saying they were healthy, but they definitely did not cause a lot of health issues previous to.
So you're saying
them.
when they were all more natural?
Well, yeah. The company, they weren't putting shit in them to preserve them.
No.
Well, the another thing to factor into anything is obviously genetics. My dad's brother, oldest living brother, he's over there working on his truck that I'm driving, and I just pay the insurance on it. But he was fixing it. And he's still cigarette and chain smoking one after another. He's 75.
Yeah.
And he's still moving around.
Yep.
I'm 44. I've smoked like twice. And I'm fucking like wobbling around. He's like, Mike, you want to go? And I'm fucking, it's so horrible being fat. I'm telling you. It's just so bad for you.
When I smoked, for the most part, when I smoked, yeah, I would wheeze sometimes, but it wasn't all the time. But when I had the X-rays on my lungs, they didn't look good, but they didn't look they weren't like fucking riddled with cancer or anything either, and they're nothing.
No.
But they didn't look good. They were, whatever they coated with tar or whatever. But I mean, I'm living proof. They did a fucking they did X-rays and CAT scans on me, and they asked me, how long did you smoke? I said, dude, I smoked for 36 years.
A long time.
30 plus years. And they're like, and how much? I go, most of the time it was about 2 cartons a week. And they're like, it literally looks like you've never really smoked.
Wow.
Some people just have that thing, man.
And that was 2.5 years after I quit. Almost 3 years after I quit.
But by the way, my dad's brother I'm talking about, the last time he went to a doctor was in the 70s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I knew it'd been a while.
He would have survived the cowboy days.
But he's not big either.
No, he's always been about
he's
short.
thin.
He's about your build, but shorter, a little shorter.
Yeah.
5'8" or something. But he's like another thing too is just activity.
Yeah.
That's a big him and my dad constant fucking
doing something.
They're never
they're fiddling with something always.
Tomorrow when I wake up with a hangover, I'm going to hear weed whackers fucking
something
clanging around.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's he's never stops.
No.
He never stops moving.
Yeah.
Ever.
Active. Yep.
Yeah, and then now there one brother who has a body similar to mine.
Yeah.
And he was always doing like me, working out this and that, and to stay in shape, work. But I think that just you can do workouts till you're blue in the face, but just I think the more important thing from my observation, family members, Brian you guys were down with me in Kentucky, Mike, weed eating the hillside. It's the constant movement all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You got to just constantly fucking move.
You don't have to work. You do not type speed or full effort, but you got to do something
constantly,
steadily all day.
Yeah, I mean, I work 12 hours.
Frank, we were down there.
A day.
Frank's 85 years old, and he's weed whacking or riding lawnmower or doing something.
Yeah, he's up on the hillside.
Yeah.
Then Mike is he's younger than he's not as old as our parents or anything. Mike's in his early 60s.
Yeah.
And he's drinking, hanging with me.
Yeah.
Just drinking.
He's a pro.
Yeah, and
he knows what he's doing.
He's just drinking. He even talked Brian into drinking for the first time in forever.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, and Mike's hammered, and he wakes up, goes up on that hillside.
Yep.
It's a constant movement.
We got up, got breakfast started, and then went out. I was like, what the hell? And I smelled something cooking. I'm like, he's already out there. And I was up at 8 o'clock.
And I had to ask his wife, Kay, she's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "No, I need like ibuprofen, please. You have any?" She's like, "Yeah, here you go."
Oh, that fireball's horrible.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
bad.
Well, that one morning I was sitting and talking with Mike, and I was telling him, I go, yeah, I was telling him how I didn't feel good, and he's like, he goes, yeah, well, I could tell something's not right. He knew, like, he said something didn't seem right, like I didn't feel good. I'm like, yeah, I go, and then that's when he was telling me, oh, we all had our gallbladder out,
Oh yeah.
He goes, it might be that, and then I remember he said something like, you think it's worse? I go, I don't think it's worse than that, but I really did though.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to tell anybody.
No, one thing about Mike, he's good about compared to like my dad and his brothers. Mike does his fucking doctor appointments because his mom was an RN,
Yeah.
so he always did his shit. His shit's always tested. So he had like some sort of skin cancer because he was always out like ginseng and he had it. He gets his shit like nipped in the butt like immediately. So there's a little growth or something gone. So that's helped him.
Yeah. Like when I had this last CAT scan, there was like two little spots on my lungs, and they're like 1 millimeter, so they're really not anything. But last year there was nothing, absolutely nothing on my lungs, and so then my doctor was like, "Yeah, it's not really concerning, but it's just weird that you got these spots now." And I'm like, "Well, I had COVID." He goes, "Okay, that explains that."
There you go.
I go, I had COVID in like October. He goes, that'll explain that. He goes, they may go away after a while.
You got to do yearly CAT scans for that too? Or
Yeah, I'll have, I'm going to have another one probably at the same time I have my colonoscopy in August or September. And that's when they'll like let me have the port out. I got to have some more tests done. I got to call them, in fact, because he wanted me to do some more extensive blood tests and a bone marrow, something in my bone marrow he wants to test.
the bone marrow density?
No, he wants to test because sometimes. All right, so basically my iron levels are high.
Yeah.
And so he's like, sometimes the bone marrow will keep producing and seeing like, and I told him, I go, well, remember, I had the infusions, but then I started taking extra doses of vitamin C.
Yeah.
On top, I was taking supplements on top of which was helping my levels come up. And so, like, basically, they're thinking, like, worst case scenario, if they don't come down, because they're just above the high limit. But
You said your iron levels?
Yeah, but you don't want them. You don't want them high.
No.
Like the high is like it's like 13.0 to 17.0.
You're too metal for your own good,
right?
Yeah.
And they don't want it to be too metal. They want it to drop down just a little bit. So they literally
They want to get you down to hard rock.
They literally may have to do a bloodletting.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
All right, we're
Now,
back
how
to the
metal-
Revolutionary War now.
How metal is that, motherfucker?
Can you donate plasma or something?
I probably could do that. Yeah, and they might just have me do that, but I don't know. Like if that's, I mean, my blood's probably clean.
Let's go to CSL and get some money out of it too.
I don't think it'll matter, like because it's like fucking what you call.
Now, if you ever go on TRT, they strongly advise you donate plasma.
Yeah,
Like I don't know if it's once every month or every 3, because that test will boost your. It makes you where you get a little more blood than you need,
yeah.
and you got to basically bloodlet
So that
once in a while.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm gonna bring that up to my So
get on TRT, man.
I'm gonna bring all of this up because they are doing.
I wouldn't do it until I got less fat, though.
They want to do testosterone testing and stuff on me too. So, because I start, like I I've never been a big guy, but I lost like I always had muscle. I was always like I never had fat. I was always muscle. And now I'm like,
Yeah.
twigs and fucking, I got like the big center gut.
It did.
I'm like fucking 20 something pounds pretty much overweight right now.
Yeah.
So
That
means morbidly
I don't
obese.
go by those charts, man.
I don't either.
No, but like I'm literally like what I'm barely 5'9", if that.
Yeah.
I've shrunk.
Mhm.
But I'm like 180 fucking something now. I shouldn't be that high.
Well, it could be this. You said the bone marrow thing, and it could be the same thing as like the guy I work with.
Are you 180?
I'm like 185 right now.
Wow.
Nice, dude. Jacked.
It's like fucking.
You're slithered.
If I was
and jacked.
185, my doctor would be like, "Hey, you're just like the charts say you should be."
I
Identify as chiseled and sexy.
Dude, I'm so bad off my
Your doctor said what? That you're
Oh,
exactly.
according to the charts, I should be 185. And he said screw those charts.
Yeah, right.
He literally said screw those charts.
You know what my doctor told me? He sat me down. He's like, what weight did you feel good at?
Yeah.
yeah.
I said 240. He goes, we want to get you down to 240. If you
Yeah.
felt
No.
good, because he goes, and he looked at my chart. I said I was 240 about 10 years ago, before my sister passed away. And he's like, and he looked on the thing, and he looked. And he said, yeah, all your blood markers and everything were good. So we're gonna get. So my doctor's so given up. He's like 240. Can you give me 240?
If my doctor would give me a number, it would be so much better. But he just like, whatever you just lose some here, you got to get down. Like, yeah, to what? He's like, yeah, whatever you feel. I'm like, Doc, I need you to tell me a number so I have a goal to get to. Otherwise, I won't do shit.
Most people
Give me a fucking number, and he won't.
Yeah, I need a goal.
Well, like,
That's the only way I can do it.
Most people not named
If it's a
LeBron James
challenge.
240 is too fat.
Give me a
well,
challenge.
like my friend Lindsay, the awesome lady.
yeah.
Yeah,
Her husband,
cool.
like, he goes into his doctor appointment, and this was last year. He sits down with this general practitioner. The guy comes in, sits down. He's looking at a chart. He never once looks at Jason. Never once looks at him.
No.
He's like 30 seconds in there, nothing. And then he goes, and he never looks up when he says this. He goes, you're morbidly obese, right? And he's like, are you going to look at me when you tell me this? Or,
Yeah.
what the fuck? He called him morbidly obese, but he's like, he works out. He's a Marine. He's not fat.
No.
Like, he's not fat.
No, because as a doctor only listens to his charts. It's not tailored to his actual patients. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I want to have abs for at least a month, then I'll go back to it.
But you're talking about the bone marrow thing. Guy at work, his wife just got the all clear from Carmanos for her leukemia and stuff.
Right.
But they had to do a bone marrow density thing
Yeah, this isn't that.
because
That's like when
They're
they go
trying to
in
get
and
her-
like,
That shit'll hollow you out.
yeah. Well, but it was also because of her iron, but also her hemoglobin. So
yeah,
I'm
that's
just saying,
what's the same. Yeah.
if
yeah.
it's the same, if it's along the same thing, have fun because man, she was in pain for 2 days.
my hemoglobins are high. It's because
See,
of the
hers are
iron.
low because
Yeah.
she had leukemia.
Yeah.
But her iron levels are just getting back. But yeah, they
So they did like a
bone marrow density, and they missed the spot 3 times.
yeah. See,
They
they
got it
didn't.
right the 4th time.
This is. He didn't say anything about it being a bone density thing.
It might not be.
It was something else. He said
Well,
it's
'cause
just.
she's also a woman, and osteoporosis and all that other stuff.
He
You
said
gotta
it was
watch out
just.
for that.
It's
Can't
more.
fuck with the BMD.
It's just more extensive blood test, but he has to make sure that the insurance company will approve it. And I
Yeah.
said, dude, I have Master Medical, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Mm.
You're a cancer doctor. I'm pretty sure it's going to be.
I'm
just
sure you'll be
fine.
okay.
But
Well-
that day that I had it done, that was, they said they were concerned about my hemoglobins. That was the day that when they were taking the blood, it started fucking clotting.
Hemoglobin.
It was clotting as she was putting it into the
that Pearl Jam
filling
song.
the fucking thing up.
Hemoglobin.
Yeah, hemoglobin.
Someone tried to tell me it was called Even Flow. I'm like, that makes no sense. Anyways,
Yeah,
No.
it doesn't.
that's a terrible name for a song. Why would you do that? It's
Dude,
hemoglobin.
I wish I could remember what Johnny used to say, because Johnny always made his own words up when he didn't know what
Yeah.
the words were.
That's what the Albanian guy at work does.
Yeah,
too.
he
Makes
was
up his
like,
own words and
it
shit.
was like Siegfried Blog. It was like he mumbled it. I'm like, dude, what the
Sometimes it's
fuck are
more
you
fun.
saying? He goes, no, dude, I think that's what they say. I go, no, the name of the song is Even Flow. That's what he says.
prove it.
Johnny's like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. I go, you know the name of the song? He goes, yeah, it's Even Flow. I go, that's what he's saying. No, man, no, I don't think that doesn't sound like that.
Speaking of not following up with a doctor,
Yeah. Are
when
you
I-
gonna talk about my colonoscopy I put
Yeah.
up for over a year now?
when I got my esophagus thing, when they looked around my esophagus,
Yeah.
they said, "Oh, it actually looks pretty good. There's one little thing on there, but it's not a big deal. He pulled it out to make sure it wasn't cancerous, some little
Yeah.
nodule or something.
Yeah.
It's like, you're good, man. He goes, I just want to keep a look at it every year, once a year. That was like 2010. So if it's bad, like I'm dead.
Oh, so he hasn't looked at it since 2010.
Yeah, so it's like, what is it, 13 years?
That's when they go down the throat, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
the,
if it's a bad deal, I'm gone.
that's the upper.
Well, they looked. What do
Upper
they call
GI.
it?
Well, there's a lower GI and an upper GI, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
the upper. They were looking around in there,
Yeah.
and it looked pretty good. But yeah, he looked down in there. He's like, because I got GERD.
Yeah.
So they're looking around. He's like, well, we there's a little nothing. He goes, it didn't look concerning, but we wanted to test it just to be sure. Just come in here once a year, and then I didn't go back in a year. I got this big certified letter that you had to sign. Like they wanted me to come back. That was like 2011.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
It'll go away.
If you just ignore it.
I got a diploma from finishing radiation.
That's cool. Did you frame it, put it on the wall?
I have not, but
Should.
I might.
Should
I
do
haven't
that.
put anything on my wall.
You got a diploma. What is it? Like you administer it to yourself?
No, they just gave me this thing that said I successfully
So there with the
completed.
control arm. Okay, right there.
They said I.
They make you do your own treatment?
They said I
I'm
say.
pointing it
Well,
right
it's
at my
like
neck.
it's like when
Just
somebody
watch
asks
a
me
tutorial on YouTube and then just do it yourself.
when somebody
Saves
asks me
money.
If, like since I got the radiation, if somebody asks me if I have tattoos, like if I'm having a conversation, I'm like, yeah, I got one shitty one on my leg and I got 3 awesome ones on my fucking chest.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like 1, 2, 3. There's 3 dots.
Oh, yeah, for the targeting.
That's where they lined it up to shoot the fucking radiation.
Yeah. It's so they can triangulate.
Yeah, and I go, so these don't go away. He's like, no, dude, they're like tattoos. I'm like, oh, sweet. So now I can tell people I got 1 shitty one and 3 awesome ones on my chest. And he just starts laughing.
Does it look at the Predator's fucking thing?
Yeah.
His laser.
The thing
It's literally like they got one. It's one on the left side, one on the right side, and then one in the center. But it's how they triangulate it so that because they want it to hit effectively in one spot. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and like literally they laid me sideways. They laid me on this thing, and then they had me turn sideways, and then this thing kind of moves with. They kind of put. It's like almost like a memory foam.
Okay.
And then once it forms, like it can be changed, the form can be changed, but once they do it for me, they basically put it away. And every time I came in, they used it on me until I was done. Now I didn't know that it was reusable because when I was leaving, I go, okay, so this is my last session. She's like, yeah. I go, can I have the mold? And she's like, no, we're gonna use that. We're gonna use it as a different mold for somebody else. I'm like, damn it. She's
Yeah.
like, you wanted it? I go, yeah. I go, I wanted a mold of the way I had to sit like that. I just thought it'd be cool. Like I was gonna like frame it, put it out, or I was gonna like just like hang it up on my wall. And
That's
she's
nice.
like, why? I go, art, man. I'll paint it and shit. I don't know.
I just need it, lady. Shut
I'm
up.
like, look, hot chick that I totally want to bang.
No. Listen, you're nothing but a hole. Just get it. Just give me it.
She was actually really hot, really hot. Like there was some really good looking girls, but she was like really fucking hot, like smoking hot, and she had a
Mhm.
cute little accent. So, but she said no. She goes, "I'm sorry, no, we reuse them."
Should have let you keep it.
And I'm like, "You should,
Pure evil to not let you
you
have
should
it.
let me take this with me right now, and then we should do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we should do it. Like I'll lay in the mold, and then you just like get in front of me, and
I lay in the mold every time I go to bed.
Yeah, the dip.
This house has got mold. Guarantee it. My breathing's so bad.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly.
What's the plan?
For the mold?
Are you gonna? Yeah, well, no, you were talking about doing some stuff on the house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start out with a privacy fence first off.
Yeah.
That's,
You don't want your
that's
parents
the first
seeing.
thing to go. No, not between
Yeah.
this side.
Yeah,
Then the tree's got to come down because I'm afraid it's going to yank my power lines.
that's a good idea.
Dad already did the pipes. Good there.
Oh, okay. So that because I know that's what you were talking about getting done. So Dad did that.
That's good.
Cool.
That wasn't as much of an issue as we worried it was.
Right.
Then I'll probably tackle the floors. I want to try to make this look like a human lives here.
Okay.
That's what I want to do eventually. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a little while.
You need to turn it into a 1-bedroom with a bunch of studio space for the podcast.
Yeah, Now just open the whole house.
Just
up.
make it a giant room, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like when you get the flats where everything's just wide open.
Yeah.
Do that here except your bedroom and the bathroom. Everything else is wide open and it's all just studio space.
So maybe like have somebody like pay like somebody who's into structural engineering. Just it probably can't be that much to come out and give you an assessment on what needs to be.
Yeah,
You know.
I could actually, I could do it. The only thing that I'm gonna have to delay some of it. The privacy fence I'm definitely gonna do, and maybe the floor, a few things like basic things that have to happen. But I'm probably gonna put it off because we've like slowed down a lot at work.
Yeah.
So we're basically like after like 6 or 7 hours, they're like, "You guys want to go? You can if you want." So they don't make you. They offer you your 40, but if you don't want it, you don't have.
So
to.
pretty much, yeah, you're not doing more than 40. That's for sure.
No, I'm not doing more than 40 at all. The only days we're busy is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are busy, and then Thursday and Friday there's a massive dip. And
Okay.
then
That sounds awesome.
it is great because you're just you're sweeping and doing other stuff.
Especially like, yeah, it's like fuck it. If you don't really need like to work all those hours, I say don't work them.
No, I don't want to. I like the money, but I don't need it. But it's I'm just kind of concerned because it's when the weather gets warm, it's supposed to be busy. It's not. So
Yeah.
kind of I don't know. Global eugenics, dehumanization, and all that stuff I've
Right.
looked into.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yep.
are they gonna end it? Are they
Yep.
gonna remove us from this planet?
What is it? The
are we gonna merge with machines? Stuff like that.
what is that? The WE.
Yeah, the World Economic
Yeah,
Forum.
yeah. WEF, the WEF.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Klaus
Schwab.
Klaus Schwab with this fucking like Star Trek looking fucking outfit, that silver outfit he wears.
We've talked about the Elon Musk, super villain thing.
Yeah,
Well, here's
Klaus, dude.
he bought Twitter and he's like, here guys, you can go on there and make fun of people on here. We're not going to kick you off no more. You can do what you want to do.
Right.
And then a few months later, he hires this chick. I don't even know her name, but he's like, I'm stepping down as CEO, and here's so and so, and she worked for the fucking World Economic Forum. He's like, so he teased us like, hey, I'm gonna let you guys.
Oh, did he seriously step down? When did he do that? Recently?
He's stepping down, and
Oh
this
my
chick
God.
is taking over.
She
and
also worked for NBC Universal
She worked,
too.
NBC Universal. All the same people that
she
won't let you make fun of people like I want to.
Right.
So he tricked us.
He did. Because like
I want to post
'cause he-
racism.
Because he opened the
can't
Twitter
no more.
files. He opened the Twitter files to a point, I guess.
So no racial humor, none of it. It's gone.
It's all gone again, huh?
He tricked us. He baited us in.
He's a super villain.
And then he's like, "You think I was gonna let you do what you want to do?
No.
You fucking faggot incel."
I mean, he
looked right at me and said
he
that.
paid $44 billion for a company that's only worth like $20 billion.
Yeah, he did it. He did it just to mess with me.
Yeah, he did. For sure.
And he got his way.
I don't have a
The house
Twitter.
always wins.
I don't have a Twitter account.
The house always wins. They always win. Pure
I've been
evil.
thinking about getting a Twitter. I was thinking about it.
Well, it was fun, but I don't know. If you like, I guess it's fun if you like want to follow the Lions guys and. Hey
Well,
guys,
I wanted to
That's-
follow because like
That's
a
the
lot of
only
the
ones I
chicks,
actually get notifications from is like
a lot of
two
the
different
chicks
Lions
that
guys.
I follow on Instagram,
Yeah.
show a lot more on Twitter.
yeah, well,
You
Twitter
can show more, yeah.
Yeah, Twitter they get like DP'd right on there.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just show it.
Yeah.
like because I saw this.
So that was like a real positive to me.
Yeah, well, I went on Twitter and I was like, this is back when they were censoring like lukewarm jokes.
Yeah.
And like kicking people off, and like, okay, this guy kicked off, and then you got fucking like these chicks posting themselves getting fucking gaped, literally gaped,
Yeah.
and like, what? Come on, pick a lane. It's either run a tight ship like YouTube where nobody can do anything fun, or don't pick and choose.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, there's gapage, literal gapage.
Up until recently, Instagram was the one I used the least, but more in the last couple of months, I've used it more. But Twitter's by far now the one I use the least.
Yeah.
And only things I do get notifications on is Lions or Wolverine stuff, and that's it. Tigers.
It's Spanish from back.
Regrese.
Yeah. Well, the Instagram's cool for like just sending each other funny videos.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I almost never send anybody anything on Twitter virtually
No, I don't.
Twitter's not fun. Twitter's where you go to argue. It's not fun. It's combat. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Like,
I'm not on Twitter to fucking be nice.
Did you see the thing I sent you guys of Chris Pine in some movie? And he looks just like Gary from Team America.
No, I didn't see that.
I don't think I did. Oh yeah, that's him from Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, and he looks like Gary. He looks like
He looks
fucking,
like he looks just like him.
he looks like Gary from
Oh my god, he sure does.
Team America.
Wow. Well, I posted a TikTok of Dusty Hill from ZZ Top. He looks like a Ryan Dunn.
He does.
When they were of similar age, they looked kind of alike because they both had
It's
the
crazy
beard.
how much they look like. I did not know.
I put it up, and some people liked it.
Oh, you mean
Mortal-
before like the beard?
Yeah, I put it on Instagram.
I saw this the other day, and I didn't even know it was him. That's also Chris Pine.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's in a movie called Stretch.
Oh.
And
Stretch.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
something about, it sounds almost like Falling Down with Michael Douglas, but it's a limo driver, and there's a bunch of other crap that happens. But it's from the guy who made Smokin' Aces. I don't know if you've ever seen Smokin' Aces. It's
No.
kind of wild. Which he's also in. But the entire movie, and people are like, it's Chris Pine's best movie, and he's uncredited in it. He's not even in the credits.
Oh, really?
And he's in it for half the movie.
Regresse.
Regressive. Moral
That's Spanish
combat.
from back.
Moral Combat.
Yeah.
Moral Combat.
I wonder how you do moral combat.
Moral Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't trust. You can trust Gary.
Buddha.
Now suck my cock.
Yeah.
You can trust Gary. He sucked my dick cock. Isn't that what he said? He's
Yeah,
like,
no,
you can
suck.
trust Gary. He sucked my cock.
Yeah. So,
You guys, we were talking about cancer earlier. I don't want to go back to cancer because it's not fun, but we were talking about everybody's cancer and
Speak for yourself.
everything.
Fun as fuck.
yeah. Al had
You know,
great
Dolph
time.
Lundgren's been fighting cancer for 8 years.
No.
Is he really?
Yep. He found it, and he was in remission from 2015 to 2020, and then it came back. He has lung cancer.
Wait, he found it in his body? He wasn't out fighting it. Literally.
Long.
No, he punched it.
Was
he
he like
punched it
Russell?
in-
Was he like Russell Crowe in
He
that shit?
basically had a training montage. He's running through the mountains in
Yeah.
Russia, working out in a barn. Oh, no, that was Rocky. He knows.
Yeah.
He was doing all this stuff in the labs, fighting it,
Yeah.
and he beat it. And then it came back in 2020. He's been fighting again for the last couple
shit,
years.
that sucks.
He seems, but he seems like he's in pretty good health.
Yeah, fucking,
know.
Dude, the lung cancer.
He's
is-
according to him, and who knows, he might just be telling the story to not glamorize it, but for like they do. What do you call it when you
for
embellish
GoFundMe.
embellish things? He's an actor. He might be embellishing things.
Mm.
He said that they gave him 2 to 3 years.
They
It's been
Still
8.
around.
They,
You can't
they
stop
do
Dolph.
that. They do that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah.
He
But
said
I mean, that lung.
it was lung cancer too, and he
cancer's
didn't really
fucked up.
smoke. But he said I did dabble in steroids, and he said he basically made it sound like
What?
he tried
Dude,
steroids out.
That
Like he
wouldn't
just-
affect his lung though. Usually
Oh,
their liver
yeah.
fucks up.
I know. He's like, he was wondering if maybe it contributed. Maybe it started somewhere and went to his lungs. I don't know what he was getting at, but he's like, basically made it sound like, yeah, I tried steroids in the 80s. I'm like, okay, you more than tried steroids.
You went,
did all the steroids too.
Yeah, you dove head first in there.
Yeah. That's
Dolph.
like, you were like into the pool
But that
and stayed in it.
Like, that's funny though. That's like
He looked great.
That's like Eddie Van Halen saying that fucking the metal picks that he put in his mouth
Oh,
was
my
what gave
God.
him oral cancer, not the 4 packs of fucking Marlboros a day
And drinking.
and drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
But cigarettes are really bad for the oral cancer.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
And the drinking is the esophagus. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
yeah.
the oral cancer, like, it's because
While I drink, as I ignore my nodule.
because when you
I ignore my
well smoking flat out it restricts blood flow.
Yeah.
So so you get restricted blood flow to the gums.
Yeah.
So that makes it a lot easier for things to get in there. So it's,
like cancerous particles from
well,
metal
just like a lot
picks.
of like a lot of people get they get gum disease. I mean, from like it's real prevalent with cigarette smokers.
Well, there you go. That's how he got the cancer from the picks, because the cigarettes opened up the door.
Yeah.
And then the picks did the damage. It's like someone kicked in the door and let all the ruffians in, the metal picks, obviously, because it couldn't have been just the cigarettes themselves that caused it. Or the drinking. There's no way.
I don't know like how drinking relates to oral. Like the esophageal, it does because like it causes issues with the acids. And
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, who knows?
Eddie probably saw the best doctors. He knows what's up. He's probably right about the picks causing his cancer.
Yeah.
Probably not though.
Probably not.
Yeah, but I just saw that about Dolph today because he was talking about that, and then it brought up the fact that he wanted to punch. He was in one. I think he was in a couple of the Expendables movies with Stallone, and he said, "quote I wanted to punch him right in the face. He couldn't. He was so perturbed with Stallone making those movies. He's like, and then also, hey, I have cancer. So I don't know what the interview was about. I guess he seemed kind of jumping all over the place.
So
he was mad at him about.
He didn't like him in the Expendables, but he liked him in Rocky.
Well, working with him on the Expendables because Stallone directed them, but he was in them.
Oh yeah.
And he just said I was ready to punch him right in the face. They're still friends, Just when you work with your friends, a lot of times you have some animosity and stuff, and things happen.
Well, if you've seen the, especially the movie Commando,
yeah,
those guys, that was super high tea behind the scenes.
Oh yeah,
and they were always trying to outdo each other before the filming. So can you imagine?
Wait, did you say Commando or Predator?
Sorry, Predator.
Okay,
Predator's what I meant.
I was say him and what's his name? Yeah, oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Predator, they were talking about. They would film like 12, 14 hours a day in the sweltering jungle.
Yeah,
but they prided themselves on who could get to the gym first because they had like a trailer gym, high humidity, like 90 to 5 degree jungle humidity, and then they got to where they got so like competitive that they would run in the jungle before filming.
Yeah,
for 14 hours. And they would all lie about like who was there for, not lie, but like brag about who made it to the gym first, who was the most hardcore. So you had Jesse the Body, Carl Weathers, Sonny, forgot his last name.
Liston,
the native guy.
I know, I can't think of his name either.
He was a mayor of Ashland,
Sonny...
Kentucky. Landham,
yes.
And a very psychotic guy, by the way. Very scary.
And Schwarzenegger, obviously.
Schwarzenegger. All them guys were always trying to outdo each other. Who was the baddest? Who was the toughest? Who could handle the most pain? And
I've never heard of men like competing like that.
Yeah, it's totally not. And then it was just a story. So you think of the Expendables, you got even more guys. There's like 20 of them.
Yeah, right.
And they're all competing. And who's the baddest? Who's the fucking
a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's just. It'd be probably a pretty fun environment to just be there.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, I got up before you did, Sly, and all this shit.
Just going back and forth. Yeah. I can see that.
That would be pretty cool, man. High tea environment.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if some girl fell in the room, like, naked near them? Tear her apart.
like the chimps do when they catch chimps.
When they throw the whole cow into the Velociraptor pit in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Just start pulling her apart.
That poor girl in Predator that played Anna. Ooh, she probably had a sore bottom.
Yeah,
she was nice looking.
She's good looking.
Anna had to go hide in the jungle.
Yeah,
until they started filming.
Speaking of predators, they're all over her.
Yeah.
Where's Chris? What's his name? Hansen when you need him. But speaking of.
I still do that. You ever get weirdly competitive and you're like, dude, I gotta not do that
for no reason?
Yeah, I do that. Like me and my one of my coworkers, we like he'll show up. We usually pull in the the parking lot at the same time or roughly the same time. Sometimes he's even there before me, sitting there. But when I get up to go in the building, we try to like get in the building first, and it's like this quiet race that we're not admitting to.
Yeah.
And then we're like, I want to hit him when he gets in there before me.
Yeah,
I want to fucking hit him in the back of his head.
Should.
Because, I don't want to be beat. And I like him. He's a friend.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but-
you want to beat your friends too.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
friends
you do.
Yeah.
You don't beat your friends, you have nothing to brag
Yeah,
about.
well, I mean, just because you're his friend and you like him, if he's winning, you hate him.
Exactly. You don't because the lizard brain thing is, and you guys know this. If you lose, you don't get to fuck.
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
get to. You don't get. They don't want to breed with the loser.
That's true.
So if you lose at anything, that's why like I used to have people would arm wrestle here. It ended badly the one time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and they would slap fight and guys would wrestle and even I would do it. We'd all and someone would get mad, and like I'd so like the last time I fucking wrestled someone, I wrestled Frank. It was here. I was
Yeah.
about 30, and he beat me, and I was so furious because I beat him like the 4 times previous to that. But there was a crowd, and he beat me in front of a crowd, and it was like, all right, all the fucking times I beat you,
Yeah.
there's no one here.
Yeah.
And you fucking beat me in
But-
front of everybody.
So he
But
rose to the occasion. He
But
wanted to make
also-
sure.
Also, it wasn't just that; it was that he beat you one time.
Yeah,
You don't want him to ever win.
I was
No.
Ever.
I was so furious.
But now there's a crowd, so it makes it even
so
more
I wanted to be like
infuriating.
that. I wanted to be like that kid that sucker punched the kid that beat him at wrestling.
Mm.
You know, and it was on Twitter a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago.
the
Yeah.
arm wrestling.
Mhm.
The
So
arm
I-
wrestling shit, man, is just
So I decided that like I'm never competing again with
Yeah.
people
That's a good idea.
because my body is
Don't
gotten
try.
old. I don't have it no more. Like, and I can't handle losing. I hate losing. Losing is for fucking losers.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm old, I'm a loser because when you get old, you become one, whether you want to be or not, because your body
Yeah.
gives out. It
It's not
sucks.
trying's not worth it.
when you talk about like the fucking arm wrestling fucking here, I just think about like me and Tabe going to when he lived in Detroit, and right down the street was the biker bar, and they'd all come over and party afterwards, and he would arm wrestle with all these huge guys and beat the shit out of every one of them because he had these
He had a
long
good grip, yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, he buffed chrome Harley parts for a living. These big giant buffers, but he wasn't big. He's skinny. He just had these long,
Wiry.
these long arms, and his forearms were just rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys were just sitting there like, "Rah!" And he was just staring at him and just, and they're all, what the fuck? They'd get so pissed off, and I'm like, so how are you doing that? And he goes, see them. One night he looked at like 5 of them. He goes, all those Harleys you pulled up on? They're like, yeah. He goes, I buff all the chrome parts that those motherfuckers got on them.
Yep.
And they're like, what? He goes, yeah, I fucking run. He'd run these big buffing wheels, fucking polishing, fucking. Dude, that shit's brutal work, man.
Hell yeah.
And he got paid piecework.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, the more you did, the more you made.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
the way you do it.
It sucked because you had to work fucking hard to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
It's an honest day's work, though. That's what the
Oh,
American
yeah.
way is.
Yep.
Honest day's work.
Yeah, but like,
I used to love watching him do that. I'd laugh so hard, man. These big fucking guys get fucking pissed off.
and the last time I played basketball too, I was at a church because I work with religious people. And there's like, hey, Mike, they're like, we're not trying to get you to come join the church. Just come play basketball. I'm like, okay, fine. I haven't played full court basketball since high school. I was like 27, 28. And I was actually surprisingly, because I was working out and running every day, I held up fine. But I started getting like pissed off because there's this fucking guy there playing like it's the game 7 of the NBA finals. And he's diving around for loose balls and shit. He fucking went to go out of bounds and he threw it at my fucking legs. You know, the throw it at my legs so it's out of bounds on me.
Yeah.
No ref or nothing there. I fucking took him and I just fucking shoved him and he went fucking flying. And I'm like, this ain't the game. This ain't game 7 of the but I'm acting like I'm not as competitive as you, but I am because he did that to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to kill him. I never went back again. Because of that guy though, and people wanted to kill that dude. They just shut it down. Like they didn't do the, because it was like every Tuesday you just could go up there and like play full court.
Yeah.
This guy fucked it up by fucking acting like an idiot. And then
Being
one
a
time,
tryhard.
one time he's like, I'm like holding the ball doing this shit. He's like trying to take the ball from me. Like I get it, you're like trying to rebound and beat each, but he was like I don't know, like Charlie Hustle out there. I fucking sent his ass flying.
That's great.
I couldn't believe he did that. I go, you fucking threw a ball at my leg at a church pickup game, you moron.
Yeah.
You know, idiot. Yeah, but yeah, it sucked. It was just like, it was so fun. The first 2 or 3 times I went there, and him and his group that played weren't there, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Then they showed up, and it just made the whole thing suck. And they weren't even that good or anything. They were just dicks. I'm like, you came to a church to fucking play this way? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go to
motherfucker.
Basketball City.
Yeah, I wanted to fucking clothesline him.
You should have done that too.
Well, I did softball. I did softball for 1 year. Never did it again.
No.
Because I'm out there, I'm playing softball, and I saw, like, I went to many bars. I was in heavy metal bands.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw more fights playing softball in one season than I did years of playing in bands.
Because I would go to your games, and I remember that one team, and your first baseman started it.
That was his fault.
Yeah. I don't know what he was doing, but he like slapped that guy in the head to tag him out when he didn't have to.
Yeah.
And he started it, and then one guy threatened to knife Jeremy, and then there's a bunch of other stuff, and then my girlfriend, now wife, she said something to the guy, and then he threatened to stab her, and then I said something to him, and then more people got into it, and it was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, it was.
And we were in the crowd.
Sounds like good times.
It was out of control,
It was nuts.
and
For it was what, Class D softball or something? It's
yeah,
not-
it wasn't, dude. It was total pickup,
It was.
and it wasn't even in my fight. Well, I saw one team we played against, and they were it was like one older guy and then a bunch of young guys, like
Yeah.
19, 20, and then one older guy that put this team together.
Mm-hmm.
And a fight broke out in their fucking dugout amongst themselves. And then I think I saw 3 or 4 fights throughout the season. And then my final, like, I walked and I just never came back. Like, I was, because I've never been the fastest guy, and I was in good shape then. I was running. I was a lot lighter than I am now, probably about 200 pounds, 210.
Yeah.
And they were like, I got a hit, and I went on the base, and there's like, hey, we're going to do a pinch runner. I'm like, what? We're going to do a pinch runner. It wasn't like an important game or nothing. I'm like, why are you doing a pinch runner? He's like, oh, we just need someone that's quicker than me. I said, okay. And they brought the pinch, and I fucking went to my car, and I never played again.
Good.
Like, I'm not playing softball with people that this and they called me, and I finally told them on the phone, I said, I don't want to be around anybody that this matters to.
No,
If this matters to you, I don't want to be on it doing it.
Because you had the one guy in your team was like Filipino or something like that.
Yeah, Jose.
Who was awesome. He was great.
Who was?
And they had like people from other teams that were like a class up trying to recruit him and shit. It's like,
Yeah, they're trying to steal him from us.
yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm on this is my friend's team.
Ich bin hurt. Yes.
He
exactly.
just wanted to be like with his friends.
Yeah.
Because they're like
yes.
the
I remember the guy that was trying to one of the guys who was trying to recruit him was this bigger guy with like a ponytail.
yeah that
And he's like if you're ready for the big time, you come.
I remember that.
You
Yeah,
can-
it was so bad.
If you're ready for the big time, it's like fucking softball.
The big time. Yeah, Jose was like, no, I just want to play with my friends.
That's great.
It was so ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. And I don't think he listens, but you had one of the guys that was on your team at the time. We'll call him Steve.
Yeah.
He may have grown up in the neighborhood with us and stuff, but I
Yep.
just remember every time, which happened quite a bit. There was times where he would misplay a ball in the outfield or something, and he would like go for it, but he would like half dive, but not really dive for it. And then if he missed it, he would just lay there and then get up and be like he hurt himself to like cover for his mistake.
Yep. He was something else, man.
Which I mean, he was. I mean, he's a better softball player than I was, but still, it's every single time is not every single game. At least once, he would mess up. And he'd get the ball and he'd throw it in, but then he'd be like like he hurt himself.
Yeah. He was,
This
The
was
cover
a,
for
this
his
was a
mistake.
neighborhood friend.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. You know,
Well, you know exactly.
You know.
I know. I'm sure I do.
you do.
If we told you who it was, you'd know exactly
Yeah,
who
I'm
he is.
sure.
Yeah, It was. I just remember that too. It was fun. The games I went to were fun, except for that one where the other team tried to fight everybody. One of the reasons, this is cousin Ted. One of the reasons I don't play sports was my friends would ask me to play. I would tell them I sucked. They said it didn't matter. Then they would yell at me for not playing well.
Right.
Yeah,
That's exactly what we would do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Because yes, we just needed you to come out there and play.
We need the extra
better
body.
than you. Like if you don't know how to play, then you should just like be good at it. Don't matter.
That's the same thing that happened to me when I started working full time. I was there about a year, and the guys said, "Hey, we need somebody. We need a fifth guy for a bowling team." I'm like, I don't bowl regularly. I'm not a great bowler. And they're like, "Well, what's your average?" I'm like, "About 140." And they're like, "That's perfect. Just come out." So I went there, and every week, the first 6-8 weeks, I bowled about 140. They're like, "You got to pick it up." I'm like, "Why? I told you what my average was. I'm hitting my average. You guys are 240 bowlers. You're the ones that aren't hitting your average. I'm doing exactly what I said I would."
It's because you didn't go out and buy 2 different kinds of shoes.
Yeah.
And 3 different balls.
I went out and I bought my own ball. I bought my own shoes. I had the fucking glove
but you
they wear.
You need a strike ball, and you
They're
need
like,
a spare
"You gotta
ball.
start throwing a
and
hook."
then you need another. Yeah, you got to throw
I'm like,
a hook.
I don't throw a hook. I
And you
throw a
need-
straight ball.
You need to glide into it. Yeah.
They're like, "You got to do this." I'm like, "Listen, when you start hitting your average every single game, come talk to me."
Yeah.
But I will continue to hit my average every single time.
game.
And that's the thing, because it's, a lot of those things are based on your average, and you're hitting your average.
and then
to
you
do
get
this.
a handicap and all
You
that.
get the handicap. I'm hitting my average. And by the end of the season, my average is 180. And you know what I did every week? I bowled a 180 because that's my average, and that's what I do. You still weren't hitting your 240 averages.
Right.
Well, I swear, there was one game where the guy with the highest on the team, his name was Mike, and it was 240. And one of the games, he was like 90 pins short of his average. Like one game, 90 pins short. Not all 3, one. And then he got...
It was your fault.
Yeah, and then we lost. And he's like, "People aren't, stepping up." I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, if he pulled less than you when he's supposed to be 60
He did.
pins heavier than you.
Yeah. He was definitely 60 pins heavier than me, though.
Yeah.
Really, a really nice guy. And I work with him. But when it got the bowling and stuff, I mean, like, he was a large man. He was shorter than me, but he was very, very heavy. And he was this big Italian guy. But when at work, he was like, "Hey," he actually acted like the stereotypical Italian guy. He's like, he walked in and was like, "Hey." I'm like, "All right, cool." Nice guy. But then when we went to bowling, he would go home after work, get home, and he'd have to shower, and he'd shave and do this. He'd brush his hair back. He always had like the bowling pants with his polo tucked in with his bowling shoes. So he got dressed up for bowling
Yeah.
every single
That
week.
shit mattered to him.
It mattered. And I was like, I'd never seen it before. I literally wore what I wore to work to bowling every single time. And he was all dressed up. His hair's like slicked back. Like he never brushed his hair at work ever. But when he went to bowling, and his hair was like slicked back, and he like trying to do like a mafioso thing.
When he went to bowling, that was work,
Yes.
not with you.
And it wasn't even like
He was
Friday
using-
night bowling. It wasn't like he was gonna like party and stuff. It was Monday night bowling. Like, we tried to hurry up and get done so we can get home in time for like to watch wrestling. He did. I wasn't watching wrestling at that point. But he was like, "Yeah, I gotta hurry up and get done so I can go wrestling." I'm like, "You got all dressed up like this for 2.5 hours of bowling on a Monday night. Why?" Every single week. Drove me nuts. I had fun doing it until they started getting too competitive. But that's good point, Ted, because it's the same thing that happened to me with bowling. Same thing. Like, "Oh, I'm not that great." That's fine. And then I did exactly what I said I was going to do. And they gave me shit for it.
Yeah.
They kept on like trying to tutor me. Like, they're like, "Show up a half hour early and we'll do some pointers." Like, "No, I'll show up when it's time to bowl."
Yeah.
I'm not coming in.
I'm not here to. I told you, I'm not here to become the greatest bowler ever.
Yeah.
You asked me to join. You didn't ask me to get better.
Here's what
Yeah.
I do. I throw the ball right in between that first pin and the pin right next to it. And I try to hit the gap between them. I'll do that every time. And I will bowl for my average every single time. And I will, a lot of times, bowl a clean game. So I'm not getting strikes, but I'll probably get most of my spares and stuff too. So I'm hitting my 180. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Leave me alone.
The funny,
hate you.
Funny, you bring up bowling, and me and Carrie were talking about the other day when we were fixing his truck,
Mm-hmm.
and Aaron, who's very braggadocious about a lot of things in his life, and he's Aaron. He's Aaron.
Yeah.
We love him. He doesn't really talk much about how good of a bowler he is.
Oh, is he?
I had no idea how good Aaron. I remember him like Carol and Wink. They took him bumper bowling, and he was bowling since he was a kid.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he continued it forever. So I go bowling with Aaron and Kent. Fucking Aaron's like a 240, 250 bowler.
Wow. I
Like
didn't know that.
solid.
Dude,
And I'm like, what the fuck? I think one game he did he hit a 287.
holy shit.
And I only went bowling with him like twice. I'm like, dude, I go, all the shit you talk, the bragging and stuff.
Yeah.
I put it nice, like where you're very normal or average. But then this thing that you're really, really good at, I've never heard you even mention.
Dude, yeah, fuck.
Yeah, like
you can make some money bowling.
he was
man.
Aaron. I don't know about now because this
Yeah.
has been 10 years, but he's a solid fucking bowler.
Wow.
Like he's really fucking good.
Once you got something like that, you could easily get right back to it.
And according to Turtle, he's a good golfer too.
Really?
I've never golfed with Aaron. I don't know,
I wouldn't doubt that too.
but it's like, I've never heard. I mean, I've heard that he golfs, but I never heard Aaron's like, yeah, I'm a really good golfer. No, it's always I can break everyone's jaw, bang every chick.
Yeah.
He's one of them. But it's like, no, dude, what you are good at, you don't talk about.
Yeah. Well, it's
It
weird.
fucking
If I was good at bowling or golf, I would be talking about it. I'd be showing you how good I was all the
I
time.
mean, Trace don't give anybody credit for anything.
Yeah.
But he says Aaron's a good golfer too. I'm like, really?
Wow. That's crazy.
Like he said, I golf with him. He's good. I'm like, I would know. I don't really intend on ever golfing. I don't
No.
have the patience.
Mm-mm.
But maybe I should get into it. I thought about that. Like it seems like the thing I should just do is like where my life's going. I just golf here and there.
Sure.
I won't ever try to be good at it because it's frustrating.
We have enough small courses around here though where you could definitely do it and not spend a lot of money doing it.
The last time I did it was the one on Utica, that 9-hole, right
Yeah.
there.
where
Closest one to the house.
down by
I don't even know if it's there anymore.
Pac-Man
Probably ain't there no more.
by 15 mile.
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's there anymore.
but I did a
Warfield.
I did 9
Oh
holes.
yeah, it's still there.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I did it
Well,
like
yeah,
I did
the-
it like 15 years ago, like twice.
Mm-mm.
And of course, I'm terrible. I'm so bad at golfing. When me and your brother, I think were you with me? I don't know if it was you, Brian, or your brother, but I went with somebody.
When we got kicked out,
Yeah, we were so bad they thought we were fucking.
intentionally being that bad.
They thought we were fucking with it because
Yeah.
we were hooking into Kelly
Oh yeah.
over the fence. He's
Oh,
like,
Little Mac.
yeah, Little Mac. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
And he's like, you guys are out. I ain't putting up with your
I'm
shit.
like, no, we suck, man.
I'm like, dude. I go, I'm really this bad. He's like, yeah, sure, get out. I'm like, I literally we were driving so terribly.
Yeah.
He thought we were fucking on purpose, fucking with him.
Because it's one thing when you shank and it goes out a distance and shanks, but we were shanking off the tee directly into the boards next to us.
Oh yeah,
Really
dude.
bad. And I was bummed out because I had been talking with a guy at work and like he had the little plastic golf balls, ones that have no weight to them, so you can like chip them and stuff. We were chipping them in the shop, and he was showing me some of the tips. And he's Scottish and Irish, so he knows about golf.
Yeah, he knows the shit.
And I was like ready. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be good. I would just follow his tips. I'm gonna hit these golf balls well. It's gonna be great.
Dude, you gotta
And I
practice
fucking
a lot.
sucked.
You got to
Yeah.
practice a lot. To
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
the guy.
Then
Like,
when I went back by myself, I did well.
he comes sprinting out of there. He's like, you guys. I think what it was is we were laughing at how bad we were.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is terrible. He's like, you guys are gone. He thought we were shanking on purpose and like trying to hit it into traffic or whatever.
Yeah. Or
'Cause
yeah. it
I
was
hit
fun.
one that went fucking over the net into fucking the road.
Yeah. But the thing is, so if that's straight, you shanked it so bad that it went out far to your right. So it was a shank, but it was a hell of a shank.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Well, the thing with me, like, I don't have many physical gifts, but I can fucking hit stuff far.
oh yeah.
So I was hitting it
you were the home run king and you almost home run king and you left for half the season.
exactly. So I'm fucking nailing it far. So, but it's going like out of the range. And he's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Sorry, man. I really suck though.
Well, speaking of sports,
Yeah.
Vita Blue dethroned, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You know, for people that don't know, Vita Blue was a pitcher for the Oakland Athletics in the 70s and early
Won
80s.
3 World Series in a row.
72 to 74.
He pitched for a long time.
It's really weird because two things. I read an article and Reggie Jackson was talking about Vita Blue, and I read this thing. It was on Facebook, but I clicked on it and I read it, and he talked about some of the people in Vita Blue and all this other stuff. And it was like the next day, all of a sudden, oh, Vita Blue died. I'm like, that's fucking. I haven't thought about him forever.
Yeah,
And all of a
he had
sudden I
cancer,
like-
I guess. So
Been
that's what
fighting
they
it for
said.
a while.
Yeah.
But the other thing about him is like he was one of the first baseball players I remember wondering if his name was real. Like they said, yeah, Vita
Yeah.
Blue, and I'm like, and I was like a kid. I'm like, that's not anybody's real name.
Yeah,
There's no way that's a
yeah.
real name.
That's what. It's funny because that's what I thought too. Like, because he, it wasn't the last team he played for was not Kansas City, but he played for Kansas City for several years.
Yeah.
And you know they're a huge divisional rival, so I knew who he was
Mm-hmm.
because of that. And he played during the years that I was like coming up and was very devoted to watching like every game.
Yeah.
So
Heck of a pitcher. You know, he's not one of the ones you hear about as one of-
6-time All-Star,
Yeah,
won a
he's-
Cy Young, pitched a perfect game
but he,
or a no-hitter.
and you think about 3 World Series, but you still never hear about him in among those elite
Yeah.
pitchers
Yeah.
of the day.
yeah.
Because a lot of people, even though the Athletics won 3 World Series in a row,
That team was stacked.
they still never get respect.
Yeah.
They're like the bad boy Pistons.
yeah. That
Really?
team was stacked.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're never considered among the greats.
because they were
no.
they were considered a circus sideshow because of the way the owner ran everything and did all this different stuff to try and promote the team, and it's like,
and the fights were very common in
Was-
the locker room, like
Oh,
fist
yeah.
fights. Badass.
Was that when LaRussa was coaching them when they won?
no,
No. that
LaRussa
was
wasn't there until
the 80s, right?
because LaRussa was in Chicago until '86. So it was after that when he was in Oakland. This was you're
Yeah.
talking about. No, this was
That's what I
LaRussa
was
was
gonna
still
say.
playing.
Yeah, that's
When
what I
they were
thought.
doing
That's what I
this.
thought. Yeah, because LaRussa's only like 80.
Yeah, he's
So-
really young.
Yeah, so that makes no, but I mean, I'm saying like as in
He's
Yeah.
not 100. I know what you mean. He's
yeah,
not, he's
like
not-
he like if he was managing in the 70s, he'd be like 100 now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, he was still in his playing career when they were winning like that.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
It's kind of like how Billy Martin played with Mickey Mantle, but coached. For all the
Yep.
Yeah, it's a different.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But totally, LaRussa's really old, and I think the game's passed him by
The-
because I don't think he's coaching Chicago anymore.
Did
No,
any,
he's doing something in the front office. He
yeah,
stepped down.
the game's definitely passed him by. He's
he
just he's a
stepped
little bit.
down. He
he's a-
said that
He did, but he
Did-
was forced.
yeah,
did
bullshit,
anyone
it was.
look
He-
older
he
at a
was
younger
forced.
age than Sparky Anderson?
No,
Yeah,
Spark-
right.
He looked like a horrible decrepacy Cincinnati days.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He looked old as fuck.
He just looked like
and
an
look,
old
he was
man,
he
yeah.
was like I don't know, somewhere about our age, and he had full white hair.
When Sparky Anderson got the Tiger job, he was 45 years old.
yeah,
That's no joke.
Seriously?
1979, he was 45.
yeah.
Wow.
Yep. He always looked old.
So they won the title when he was like fucking Al's age.
he was 50 years old when he won the World
and he
Series.
looked
Yeah, dude,
horrible.
like, right now, Sparky Anderson would only be like 90 right now.
Yeah, he'd be like 88, 89.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he'd be
But the
89 right now.
Point is, Al, he was your age
Yeah.
and looked
Oh,
way
yeah,
older
yeah.
than our dads.
Oh yeah.
Way older than our dads.
Oh yeah.
Yo, he always looked old, and I don't know why it was.
Everybody drank.
Well, yeah.
They drank
And also,
so
there
fucking hard.
There were certain guys just did. Certain guys just looked, the certain guys just looked old all their lives.
Yeah.
You know, Wilford Brimley. I mean,
Well,
you know.
do you ever see pictures of like in his prime winning batting titles? Ty Cobb
Oh yeah,
had this
Yeah.
fucking old neck,
Always
fucking
looked old.
wrinkled, looked like Freddy Krueger.
yeah.
He was the top guy in baseball. Looked like Freddy Krueger.
when Sparky Anderson took over the Reds, his first season they won the pennant. They did not win the World Series, and actually he was there for 6 years before they won their first World Series, and they won 2 in a row. But his first year as coach of the Reds, he was 36 years old.
Which is very young for a manager.
When he
Wow.
won his first World Series, he was 41 and then 42.
Wow.
and he looked so old at that
Or the
point.
old Tigers.
How long has it been since he died?
He died in 2010.
Okay.
He died of old age at 37.
I was
And
going
he
to
was
say.
only, I mean, he was only 76, almost 77 when he died. But still, he looked. But that's the thing. When he died, he looked almost the same as he did as when he won his last World Series with Detroit.
Right.
Then you had the other extreme. Harold Reynolds looked 27.
Yeah.
Until about like 4 years ago, and he's starting to look a little older now.
Yeah.
But he looked. But like I remember, I would say mid 2000. Harold Reynolds, like because you know that Bo Jackson documentary about how like fucking bad, and when he got thrown out by Bo Jackson, he had to be 55 or something.
Oh yeah, he's 62 now.
He had to be 55 when that documentary came. He looked like he looked like he just stopped playing.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
he'd stopped playing.
Yeah, exactly.
And he looked fantastic. I don't know. I mean, I saw Harold like now, and he doesn't look old, but he looks, he doesn't look 27 anymore.
He definitely looks like he's 50.
He looks 35 now.
I would say he looks 50, but he's in his 60s.
But he looked like he was in his 20s until like 2010.
Yeah.
Man,
Literally.
it's driving me nuts because I just said the same thing about somebody else, and I cannot remember who the fuck it was. It's gonna drive me bonkers.
Dion,
Well,
maybe.
We'll stay on the sports.
Dion still looks young, but Dion isn't really old.
Dion?
Deion Sanders isn't super old.
How old is he?
No, he's 55. Okay,
Dion's pretty old, man.
Is he 55?
he's 55.
Okay. I thought he was a little older than that. But yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, yeah, but this is
So
Dion's 55, and this is him.
Let's clear the
like
air.
3 months ago.
I mean, like if he grows out hair, he's like he's all white.
No,
But he doesn't look old.
No,
black men tend to age better. We know that.
Yeah.
black don't
for
crack.
the skin.
Yeah.
Now, but there are some white guys out there. Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
He has to be the number one youngest
He's 60
looking.
this
What's
year.
the
isn't
He has to be the number one white guy that aged the best.
Is he 60
is that the
this
virgin
year?
blood though?
It could be the baby blood.
Baby blood. That's a virgin. I'm
But
sorry.
I would rank number 2 behind him, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady looks younger now than he did when he got drafted.
So it's Cruise and Brady.
Like literally, if you look at Tom Brady when he got drafted to Tom Brady now, he's de-aged. He actually looks.
Well, that's the TB12.
He looked 45 at 24, and he looks 30 at 45.
That's
Is Brady
that's-
part of any weird religion or anything?
It's that TB12. He doesn't eat anything like fucking bad for you at all.
That's true. It's as strict as he can be. He's not one of those guys. He's like everybody knows he's in shape, and everybody knows he's healthy and stuff.
He pretty
But
much
if you ever
eats
see him
chicken,
working out and stuff,
vegetables, and
he's like low key ripped, and people don't expect him to be in that shape. Like,
Yeah.
because you don't see him with the shirt off.
no,
He's legit in excellent shape,
yeah.
and
All stop.
Like he pretty
All-star,
much eats like chicken, brown rice, and vegetables, and
He looks
Avocado.
phenomenal. He looks fantastic.
that's pretty much what he eats.
He looked great.
Because like I remember a few years ago, they were like, "You don't eat ice cream or anything." He goes, "Well, sometimes I eat like I'll like
Vegan ice
I'll
cream.
freeze an avocado. I'll freeze avocado, whip it, and then freeze it, and it's like eating ice cream." I'm like, "No, it's like eating a frozen avocado."
yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's boring as shit, but you know what? It's worked out for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of old guys, that it isn't so much about how he looks; it's more about what he's done.
Yeah.
Fucking De Niro.
Fucking De Niro.
He
No
cream
offense.
pied a woman.
Well, he's been with the same lady forever.
and-
She's
and-
much younger than him, but
79.
79. First of
Yeah,
all,
they were asking
congratulations.
A
They were-
functioning cream pie at 79.
Well, they were asking something about all his kids, his 6 kids. He goes, "I actually have 7 now. I just had a kid."
Yeah,
a
there was
few
no
months ago."
announcement. It
No,
just-
he just said it to somebody that was asking him a question or something like that. Something. Yeah, I mean, he was at like some kind of thing.
It's just like it's like basically they're like, yeah, the kid's just like, oh yeah, by the way, I just had another kid the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody said, "Oh yeah, you're 6 kids." He goes, "Well, actually, I have 7 because I just had one like a few
His
months
kids
ago."
range from 50 to 5 weeks.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yep, he's 79. So good for you. Also, that's fucking stupid. You shouldn't be 79 and having kids.
It
Why?
still works.
It does work, but I
So
thought
you got to show off that it still works.
I thought Mick Jagger was bad at 72 or 73, whatever his other
Dude,
kid was.
the one that got me years, it was Was it the one that played Scotty on Star Trek? I think he was 82 when he got his fucking wife pregnant.
Well,
I think
She was like 30-something years old.
he's like, I'm gonna beam you up.
I think Anthony Quinn did a few old cream pies.
Oh yeah.
Tony Randall did too. He
Yeah.
was like 70 fucking 8 or something like that when he was old.
Yeah.
68, 70
That's the
something.
Odd Couple. Tony Randall.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I've for so long thought that dude was gay.
I thought so too, but somebody said that he had a kid at like fucking 70-something years old and then died a
Beard.
couple years later.
It's a beard.
No, you still got to carry on the genetic code.
I gotta look this up because I even think
Men are for pleasure, women are for breeding,
It's
as we know.
I think De Niro's kids might be more spaced out than I even said. Honestly,
Now, there's no way it's 50 years apart with the same woman.
no,
That's not possible.
no. He's been with this lady for
No, the black chick, right?
yeah.
For like those, since for a while.
I'm trying to find.
I
this.
thought he was yeah.
Let's
I
see.
don't know.
I had this all earlier and I lost it now. His girlfriend Tiffany Chen. So maybe he has not. Okay, he's only been with her for a little while. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So he's got a new
A
one.
newer one. Yeah.
So the black girl's out of the picture.
He's got a 51-year-old, a 46-year-old, a 25-year-old, an 11-year-old, two 27-year-old twin sons, and then the 5-week-old. So anywhere from 51 down to 5 weeks. Yeah. So
he's gonna die when his kid's like a toddler,
Yeah.
Yeah.
old age.
So Tony Randall.
Tony.
Okay, first of all, he was born in 1920.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he died. He was 84.
Uh-huh.
He did not have kids with his first wife. He married his high school sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Was married to her for fucking 50 fucking something years.
Wow.
She died in 1992. Then he married a Heather Harlan,
Okay.
who was 25 years old.
Obviously related to Carmen Harlan.
At the age of 75, he married her, and then had kids.
Wow. So what
He
you're
was
saying?
married. Rudy Giuliani married him.
Really?
Yeah, but anyway, so he had two children in 97 and then 98, when he was 77 and 78 years old, respectively.
That's dumb. That's real dumb. I don't understand that.
I don't know, but I don't know.
Oh, really? Dale's adversary's ready to pounce. His adversary's here waiting for him, and he's not here? What the hell?
He was out there somewhere.
Because I always give my boss shit because he is now 59. He just turned 59 last month, and his son is going to be 3 this month. So at 56, he had his third kid. Well, with his current wife, he had a long time ago. But he has 59, and he's got a 3, 5, and 6-year-old, or 3, 6, and 7. So basically, when he got hit 52, he started over again. Like, dude.
Okay, so he already had a kid. He already had a family.
He got married way back in the 80s, and he had a stepdaughter, and then they had a kid together. The marriage ended, relationship got bad. He never had any contact with his daughter. He has minimal contact with her now, but there's no relationship really, which he always felt bad about, but it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he met his wife, also his wife is 2 years younger than me now, so he's 59, his wife's 41. He wanted to start over again. He wanted to have kids with her and stuff, but they weren't sure. But so every time he goes places, they think he's the grandpa.
I've actually worked with several guys that were like I worked with this guy Carl out in Utah.
Carl
was a cool guy. He was from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But he partied his whole life.
Yeah.
And just did whatever the fuck he wanted.
As
and
he should have.
Then he met a woman, and I think he was around 48 when he met her, and she was like 32.
Mm-hmm.
And then he fell in love, got married, and got off all of the drugs and alcohol and everything, and then fucking started a family. Like, he was like 51 when he had his first kid. When he started working with me, he was like 55, and he had 3 and 1 on the way already. I'm like, dude, Jesus. I'm like, he goes, well, we wanted to, I'm not getting any
There's
younger.
Dale. Oh, did you already bring him in?
I brought him in.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He's like, I'm not getting any younger, so we wanted to have like a family pretty quick. I go, yeah, you did. you're 55 and you've got 3 and 1 on the way, and you started, and your first one was born at 51.
My boss actually went back and had his vasectomy reversed, and then had the kids, and then went back and had it redone again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he was already snipped.
So would it be weird if I met a woman and started a family?
No, I mean, it wouldn't be weird. I just
No, I mean,
Would I be too old? Would my balls be too old?
probably not.
I thought about that. Like, just
There's no white
Men
hair.
are fine. We can men have kids late into their
It's
life.
like I'm totally ready. to
our
fucking-
own great grandfather and great grandfather and great grandfather were in their 70s and had kids.
Yeah, they
So,
start. Yeah, it's like
I thought about like just cream pieing some random chick,
Mm-hmm.
just so I have something out there after I'm gone. Just it
The
doesn't even,
legacy.
It doesn't even matter if they know who I am, just that I did it one time.
well, then go donate.
Yeah. Well,
no, I don't want to do that. I want to do it the
Oh, you
nasty-
want it? Yeah, you
the
want the
dirty
feeling.
way.
You want the feeling, right?
yeah.
the nasty
Yeah, because
way.
like, dude, I would like if I met some hot fucking young fucking chick like 25 years younger than me.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude, if she's
Like-
hot and wanting to fuck a family,
like this.
Fuck.
This is my scenario. The house next to me is like coming up for rent.
Yeah.
So it's some like single mom got nothing going on.
Mhm.
you should fuck her.
And just one day she's just bored. I feed her some beers. Cream pie. She leaves. She doesn't even know it's me because she's got a high body count. There's guys everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's actually mine.
Yeah.
And then I don't like. You know what I mean? And then I my seed passes on
We're
without having to deal with a woman.
I got you.
Neil and I
Mhm.
were talking about.
See, I like taking care of. I would totally take care of kids.
Yeah.
I would even take custody. I just don't want to deal with a woman.
Oh, I get it.
We were talking the opposite, like being young, and we were talking about like it was just yesterday, or it was yesterday. We were talking about like guys that we knew that were like, because I knew a couple different guys that were like, yeah, she said I got her pregnant. She said she needs money for an abortion, and this was what I always said. I'm like, give it to her, and they're like, well, how do you know it's yours? Do you really want to find out?
Yeah.
Or do you want to fucking just be done with it and not have to worry? This is some skank you met at a fucking bar, and just give her the fucking money, and then she leaves you alone.
I want the progeny.
You want that legacy is what it is. Yeah.
Like,
You want your last name to carry
if
on.
I ever got that call, I'd be like, have it,
Do it.
do it, and give it to me.
Not when you're like,
Right,
yeah, but that's-
Have it and give it to me.
I'm here to raise an army.
That's the thing
I
I
don't
was
need you.
go over with my boss, because it's like when his last kid finishes high school, he will be 74 years old.
yeah,
74.
if he's healthy, I mean.
I mean, he's healthy, and most people, like his dad just passed, and he was 89. His mom's 88.
But his wife's not a lot younger than him though.
She's 41.
Oh, she's 41.
She's younger than me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like he starts talking about it. His wife, one of the ladies in our office, I think I told you guys
It's fucking
before.
weird, man.
She went to school around here. We went to school with her brother, and then she dated Jesse for a long time.
Oh yeah. Wait,
But
that's the wife?
no.
Oh,
She
oh.
works in our office, and she's the same age as his wife.
Oh.
Like they could have graduated high school the same
Oh
year.
yeah.
So it's-
Wow.
we always say
Yeah.
that. Which I mean, it's not a huge age gap, but
Yeah.
basically when he graduated high school, his wife was born.
Mm.
If you want to look at it that way, it's the same age gap.
That's a pretty big age gap, man.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as some of these other guys. You get like, I mean, it's no DiCaprio age gap. He's like, it's like his are like 25 years of difference.
That's what I want.
But anyways, it's still an age gap. But I don't know. He's happy, but he's the type of person that like when he gets focused on something, he gets it done. And he's like, I want to have kids. I want this many. They had 3, and then he's done. It's
So
like,
I want to
3.
give you guys a scenario here.
Yeah.
What is like? Now, Brian, you're married and you're happily married.
Yeah.
But like, we're gonna like strip all that down. We're at bare bones, nothing.
Mhm.
You guys are me right now.
Yeah.
Al is me right now.
Yeah.
We're single. Nothing matters. What is the youngest? The youngest woman that you could handle as a mate, not as a lay.
Okay.
A lay could be anything.
Oh,
like a
here-
woman that like you would, like you're gonna go on together in life.
Okay.
Well,
You and her, like I dig this girl. Me and her, this is cool. But like, what is the youngest you could go?
here is and my buddy Rick brought this up a long time ago. He was 25 and his buddy was 24, but his buddy was dating an 18 or no wait, buddy was 25 dating an 18-year-old. Doesn't
Okay.
sound like a big gap. 7 years isn't. But think about you at 25 and then a girl who just got out of high school. That's almost like a different generation. You guys like different things. It's almost a generational thing at that
exactly.
point.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want anything that's more than a couple years different
well, in that sense, yeah.
for a mate.
In that sense, yeah. I mean, definitely because. All right,
Like you
a
at
guy
50,
at
do you-
25
do you think a 25-year-old is going to hold the same interests you do
No.
right now at 50 years old?
Well,
I think
And
even
you're going to
the-
be able to just
I
go
think,
hang out with them
I
all the
think
time?
right now for all of us, the lowest we could go and relate to,
Hmm.
in my opinion, and relate to. I'm not talking about just fuck, relate to.
Yeah.
I could probably go 35, which is 9 years younger than me.
Yeah, because
I'm talking about someone like that I could be around every day.
I know girls mature.
35 would probably be
Females mature differently than men. So I know an 18-year-old woman is more mature than an 18-year-old man. But as you get older, I think that gap kind of lessens. So 35 I think would be fine. At 44, 9 years is good. I personally think
I would prefer 39, 5 give or take.
I keep on going back to high school, but I think I would be more like somebody who's within the same high school years as me, 3 or 4 years. So we both kind of went through the same stuff, and just you're a little bit closer in age. Like,
So El, what's yours? 19.
Well, here's the way
That's
like
your-
so like it depends. Like, all right, we talk about somebody who's like there's two different factors here. Like one would be like what's the education level of a person too.
That does factor.
yeah,
Because like if it's somebody like if
PhD is
she's
sucking my dick.
if she's like 30 years old, but she's like a dipshit who's never really, who's done dipshit jobs her whole
Yeah.
life and she's kind of dumb, I'm not going to have any relation to it.
Okay,
that's a
she's-
fuck
you're-
buddy.
you-
That's
you-
it.
But
you're
if
talking
she's
about somebody
40
that would be into me.
But if she's 45 and still was that way and was like drama mama, and raised a family and acts and is still that's not going to work for me either.
there's a bunch of there's more than just age as far as determining
It's
factors.
for sure. Because I have met women that are 29, 30 years old that like I met a nurse at the fucking Cancer Institute who's like 28 years old.
Mhm.
She's fucking good looking. She's fucking cool. We talked about a lot of fucking shit and we related on a lot of shit. And I could have easily saw myself
Well,
hanging
and
out
she's
with her.
obviously got a different level of maturity. She's obviously career oriented.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she's doing that kind of
But
stuff.
she was definitely like
She's not
we related like on a lot of different. We talked about.
She's not like a 28-year-old that still works like Hot Topic or something.
No,
So there's
we both liked fucking a lot of the same music.
is Hot Topic still around?
Hot
Yeah, they are.
Top- yeah, Hot Topic.
Hot Topic.
She's
Well-
a car hop at A&W.
But like, yeah, she like
She works
so
at
like
Sonic.
I totally like, but like it wasn't just that. It was just like I know that I could easily relate to her because I wouldn't relate to somebody like my age because think about like all right, somebody like 45, 50 years old. They've most people have already had families.
Yeah.
They're like looking at becoming grandparents if they're not already. I'm like, what do I have? I have nothing in common with somebody like that
But-
because I never raised my own kids.
Well, my thing would be this though. Al.
I'm a petulant child.
Here-
man. I
here's
mean,
here's my difference. Any one of us, in theory, Brian's doesn't matter, but let's say we're all the same.
Let's say we're all
Yeah, you're going to run into somebody that's had kids.
Mhm.
That's just
Yeah.
what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
yeah.
It's just almost virtually impossible to find someone that's a mate for someone our age in our looks categorization that hasn't had kids.
yes.
So the good thing is now I want someone also the 35 to 40 range. Why I'm looking in that is because their kids are not kids no more.
Yeah. Well,
They're
hopefully.
teenagers or something.
Right.
Usually.
So typically so there's no longer you're not my dad. It doesn't matter. Like their kids are some of them are adults. They don't even care that you're fucking their mom. They just don't want to deal with her
Yeah.
shit no more.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's fucking mom. Great, she'll shut up. She's getting dick. That's like that. Like it's a different thing than like a kid that's a child and like maybe dad will come back around
It
when
would-
he ain't ever coming back.
It would be a lot easier.
He's never coming back.
It would be a lot easier if they were an older mom and like their kids are well past even if they're still like an elementary age kid, they're older, 5th, 6th grade.
Yeah, they can process what the fuck's going on.
They can function themselves, they
But-
can
but
do
it's-
things for themselves.
They have to have kids.
like with a toddler, fuck no.
But here's my thing: people say, like, you wouldn't be with a woman with kids. No, I wouldn't be with a woman that has children. But a woman with kids that's procreated, sure. But they got to be a little older where they can process. Hey, this dickhead's not trying to replace dad. It's just some guy.
Just trying to get some tang.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, because when they're little, like they still have the fantasy dad's coming back.
Yeah.
And they hate you because you're in the way.
Yeah.
But if they're like, in our case now, if they're fucking in college, they know dad's long gone.
Yeah.
Well,
And they've accepted it. You know what I mean?
but like, all right. So for me, here's the thing. For me, like, I have not been around a lot of kids. Okay, like I really haven't over my life. If I meet somebody who's got kids that are like in their 20s, they're getting ready to start families.
Yeah.
You're about to be a grandma. Your life is going to be devoted to that. And I don't know how to. I would be better off meeting a woman who's, say, like in her 30s, whatever. But like if she's got kids, like 10, 12-year-old kids, something like that. That to me, because then I can learn how to be around kids,
Yeah.
and like kind of develop a relationship. And then when they get older, so that would. But for me, like, it's either that or I got to meet somebody who's like not had kids and like is ready to start a family, which I'm not opposed to it.
No.
But if not, I'm just, basically I'm going to be fucking like
I've accepted
single
that.
fucking 40
I've accepted that that ship has sailed long ago.
But see, like I'm active. I'm going to go out. I want to go out and do stuff. And so I don't think that I really probably wouldn't have a problem with meeting women to date because, they like to go out and do shit.
Yeah.
So
that would be my main issue. People always talk about like people at work. They're like, why don't you date? I know that they're always trying to hook. And I would say past the age of 30, I've said no to everybody.
Yeah.
That's ever been thrown at me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, what's your problem? Is like, I don't want to do a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Girls are never happy. And I see it with like my sister, and I see it with your brother and his wife, and a lot of people. Brian luckily has a workaholic wife, so that's the energy's gone. He lucked out. He's the jackpot. But
if I had more money, I'd go do things.
But like I see with a lot of like women, they just have to do things all the fucking time.
Well, Bill Burr says
80% of marketing is towards women because they buy things, they go place, and that would be the only people that are like. Well, to me, I like my nephews are here all the time. Like if they had kids, I like kids. I like all that stuff. I just don't like doing shit.
Yeah,
that would be the thing that would give
that's
me
my
is
biggest thing,
is the doing shit.
I think my wife does too much because she works 50 to 60 hours a week, and then also now, especially this time of year, she's doing stuff with the baseball field and she's coaching a t-ball team and stuff. I'm like,
That's what women
too
would-
much,
dude, that's
Women are-
perfect
and
because
that's
you're not
nothing.
expected to be part of it.
But that's nothing. Like when you're talking about Craig and his wife, Amanda, I love her, but she does too much stuff. I don't know how she does all this stuff.
Amanda is.
I don't think she does too much stuff. I'm glad she does all this stuff.
Amanda is the coolest woman.
I don't
one
know
of the-
how
one-
she possibly
she's
does all the stuff she does.
Sweetest woman ever, and I have her on.
It's nonstop.
I have her on Snapchat. I have her, and like, she's always at a concert. Always at a
concert,
play.
or she's doing something for Paige. Doing all this stuff, and then constantly doing stuff. And then she does the craft stuff too, and then she's also doing her clothing business and stuff, and all this other stuff. And it's like,
dude, honestly,
how?
Honestly, if I met somebody like that, I'd be fucking super stoked because I am so bored.
Yeah.
I hate sitting around doing nothing.
And I think it came off as an insult, like, why the fuck you doing all this stuff?
No, but like
And
it
it's
just
not.
depends on. it's your
I'm
personal
jealous
preference.
that you can actually get that much stuff done because I
It's-
can't do shit.
It's like
I don't have that kind of
like,
energy.
A lot of people don't want a lot of people don't want that. They want to just chill.
Yeah.
They want to do their their little thing.
Me.
I want to be out doing shit, so
Well,
I know that like if I met somebody with a ton of energy, I'd be great because I've got tons of it that
and then
don't get used.
she's like, I got like a couple times a week. She's like, I got to do this stuff with my mom, the crafts and all this stuff, and I got to go with my mom's. Like, her mom doesn't live next door.
no,
or down the street. Her mom lives 40 minutes away.
Well, I told Craig, I said just once, I go, I'm going to take your wife and her friend because they go to every concert.
Every
That-
concert.
That one really cute Italian looking girl.
Mm-hmm.
And they go to every concert ever. I go, I want to prove that they are so pro fun and have fun no matter what. I'm going to take them to the craziest death metal fest. And I want to take them because I know Craig won't go.
No.
And they'll probably have fun.
And I go, I want to just document it to show that they'll have fun fucking anywhere.
yeah.
And I don't know. We'll think of the concert. It'll be Morbid Angels Hurt.
What about,
You know,
Yeah.
well,
what about
I'll-
Halloween?
some death fest? I'm gonna take them to a death metal fest,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna just like, what do you guys think of this? What do you,
Halloween, though,
and like
they're
interview
more
them,
cheese.
and I guarantee
They
you
are cheese.
they'll enjoy it.
But I only bring them up because they're coming to town in like a week and a half.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Royal Oak Music Theater on the 24th.
No way,
Now-
dude.
now
I, haven't, s-
Halloween is playing.
I haven't seen him in 34
Oh,
years.
I thought Halloween was playing.
No, Halloween. Someone put it on Facebook. Halloween played a show, and they had their old like 80s costumes on. When we played with them, they didn't have the costumes on.
I haven't seen Halloween since April 29th, 1989, when they opened up for Exodus and Anthrax.
Yeah, Halloween, Royal Oak Music Theater
Dude, I
on
totally
May
go to
24th with Hammerfall.
I would totally go to that. They're a German band.
They're going to be here, man.
They
Well,
were a German band.
I just brought it up because I just saw it on the Facebook that they were coming.
Well,
up.
it was like even my sister. They're going to Dollywood at the end of the month.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
They're coming back home the next weekend. Dino Stroll.
Oh,
You know where the dinosaur parade or at
Dude,
Canterbury.
when you got kids, you got to do
in
shit
Canterbury,
like that,
and I'm
man.
thinking, I'm like, dude, how do you my brother-in-law like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
how do you like cope?
Dude, when you got kids, you got to do
You
shit
have
like
you
that,
have no
man.
choice, but
yeah.
Yeah, you
I don't
just
know, man.
like, to me, it's like if you're gonna have kids, you've got to take them and do like a lot of shit because, I mean, you just want them to learn everything too.
Yeah.
On top of like having fun, but you want them to develop. That's the way you still drink, buddy.
I do.
Bud Light.
No.
Oh, you still drink? Who
Oh,
drinks?
Mike doesn't drink.
I never
Bud
drank
Light.
Bud Light. I
Bud?
drink Miller
Oh.
Light or Coors Light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike's
one of
never.
them.
There's never been a Bud Light drinker
Yeah,
here.
it
You know why? It has nothing to do with trans.
has nothing to do with
It
Dylan.
has
Shit.
everything to do with the stuff tastes like fucking ass water.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, they picked the right guy to fucking pump that shit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, right.
Or Natty. Mike used to drink Natty Light for a
Natty
period.
Light was worse than Bud Light.
Well,
there's-
Natty Light doesn't have. To me, Bud Light it has a funky aftertaste that I don't like. Natty Light has no taste. It
It's just
doesn't.
water.
It just tastes like fucking water to me.
I'll say this about the Budweiser brand: Miller Light is far superior to Bud Light.
Yes.
Coors Light also, but a regular Budweiser I like more than an MGD.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
love
do.
MGD.
I do. I don't.
Bud bottle. I used to love Bud bottle, but if I drank too many of them, I would get the headache,
Mhm.
and I never got that with
Well-
any Miller product ever.
Well, the funny thing,
It's because Miller's made the American way,
the-
born
the-
and made in USA.
the sickest I ever got in my life from drinking, and it was a non-shot night. I got sick as fuck. Bobby came home from Iraq,
Mm.
and all we had was there was 2 cases of Budweiser. It was just me, him, and Nick, just the two of us.
Yeah.
And we drank that, and we went out also, and it was just regular Budweiser.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit will, if you drink enough of it, it will make you so sick. with
Yeah.
it. My headache was so brutal.
Well,
I
it's,
thought I thought like I was like Alex from fucking Malcolm movie.
Malcolm X.
No, Alex. Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah,
Like my
It's
head
the
might
milk
go
bar.
over. Like I wanted to fucking die.
it was something about like Budweiser would like totally suck every drop of water out of your fucking body if you drank too
It's like a
many of them.
diuretic.
Seriously,
Yeah,
like it always did
It
it.
was a water pill.
Like now, I could drink like 15 of them, no problem. But if I drank like
oh, they go down fine.
if I drank more than that, if I drank like 20 or 24, because in case your kids didn't know, I used to put down beer by the case, not by the bottle,
By the case.
by the case, usually by a 30 pack. But so That shit would always do it. Like no Miller product. Remember in the 90s when there was all the red beers?
Oh yeah.
There was like Red Dog.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like Miller had one for a minute, a red beer, and it was really shitty. It didn't do well. And that one gave me a really bad like headache. It just gave me a really bad headache. But I hated all those fucking red beers.
Do you remember
Red Dog and Red Wolf?
And this because the tagline always gets stuck every once in a while. Somebody will say something, and the tagline for this gets stuck in my head. But why ask why? Try Bud Dry. Remember Bud Dry?
Yeah.
Bud Dry, yeah.
What the fuck was Bud Dry?
Okay, so when Tommy came out to visit Craig, he found it out there, and he goes, "Dude, I haven't had this in forever. Oh my god!" And he drank like 2 of them. He drank like 2 of them, and then left the other 6 in my fridge, which they stayed in the fridge for another year and a half at that house. Then we moved to the other house, and I took them with me. And then one night, I don't remember who, we had somebody over that was like, we didn't have any more beers. And they're like, you got any more beer? And I'm like, oh, yeah, you could have one of those. And he drank, who the fuck was that dude? I can't remember his name. But
Andrew,
he only came over a few times.
Andrew's like, can confirm the 30 pack.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. But like even like AWH, his mom and dad, like during the 90s, like when they drank, like they haven't drank much in years, but I used to buy the 30 packs of Miller Lite, and we would go through, like, between the 3 of us, we would go through 2 of them for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like it was like an every night thing for a while.
Now I remember like
I'm so goddamn diuretic.
I remember Al and AWH, your parents.
Mm-hmm.
They were my hookup for booze, man.
Oh yeah.
Because I was I was 18, 19. I wasn't a kid.
No.
I just couldn't quite get it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, we'll get you. And all it would take for me at the time, just give me 2 40s. That was my thing. 2 40s. Didn't matter what it was. Could be anything.
Yeah.
And that's what you or Jay.
That's a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah, you or Jay or Christy would get that for me, and that's just how I rolled.
That's awesome.
We would go down to your guys' porch where you lived over here, and we would just fucking hang out.
That's
all
what I
night.
mean. That one summer, what year?
The porch parties, man. We call them the porch parties.
90s. It was 97 after my accident.
Yeah.
That really happened because that was when South Park started.
Yeah.
I remember we were sitting on the porch and Mom opened the door and she's like, Princess Diana died in a car accident.
Oh yeah.
And we were like, holy shit. And then me, Jay, and Christy, and we like fucking just kept pounding beer. This one's for Princess Diana.
Yeah, I guess
Dude,
the way to go.
he would have the guitar out there like 11 o'clock at night, fucking singing songs. And
Yeah, I can't believe that. Like the biker finger stuff. That's what got me into, and me, Brian.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty much
You got us into the parody song.
96, 97. That was pretty much height of biker finger shit right there. But so all right, so Andy
That's also
confirmed
got-
the 30 pack. I do
That also
love,
got us into Rolling Rock too.
yeah. Well,
Did you
that
guys-
yeah.
Al got me into Rolling Rock because we went to see Burner.
Oh yeah, Burner. Yeah.
And you're like I was like, dude, I go.
They had the
'cause I know-
22 ounces.
I knew what type of music Al liked. I'm like, Al, we're gonna see the most 80s metal band right
They were
now.
fucking awesome.
And he's like, really? I was like, dude, if you like 80s metal, we played a show with them. You weren't there because you were working like a million hours.
Yeah,
a week.
right.
And I'm like, because sometimes you would be.
It sucked because I
sometimes
worked
you
nights
do-
and I couldn't find
Yeah.
a day job. I was trying to find one, man.
Yeah, sometimes you would do songs with Skarnak,
Yeah.
and then sometimes you couldn't.
Yeah.
But,
It
they're
sucked.
like, but you missed them, and I'm like, dude, you got to check these guys out. And I saw they were playing, and I made friends with Ray from Burner.
Yeah.
Awesome guy. And I'm like, when are you playing next? He said, we're gonna be up here next week again. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be up here. And I told Al,
Yep.
I'm like, Al, we're going.
Yep.
And you're like, have you ever had a Rolling Rock? I'm like, nah. And he's like, dude, it's good stuff. And the reason I got in for like 3 years, all I drank was Rolling Rock, because that night I drank like 30 of them, and I didn't get a hangover.
Right.
I didn't get a
Right.
single hangover. Like
Pale ale, man.
we were fucking pounding them, and we were like in a burner, and there was like a mosh pit, and like I was getting knocked around in the mosh pit, falling drunk, and I wasn't sore. I'm like, dude, it's Rolling Rock from now on.
Fucking
And
from the glass lined vats. of Old Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to Pennsylvania, when I was selling perfumes, we went to Pennsylvania. We found Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and went. That the dude's like he could. The other two guys were one was 21, one was 24, and I was 20. And he's like, yeah, I can't really we wanted to do a tour, and he goes, I can't let you in. You're not of age. I'm like, shh. And I'm like, look, dude, my ID. And he looked at it, my ID was. I signed the way I signed it. It was over the 2 of the over the 3, so it kind of looked like it could be a 2, the 72 instead of 73.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, we'll call that good." we went in and did a tour of the fucking brewery.
That's awesome.
That was like one of my favorite memories. And then the stand was being filmed there.
That's right.
That's when we snuck through the barricades.
Saw Kareem, or I don't know if you saw Kareem or not.
At the stand.
Bring out or whatever he said. He was in the stand.
No, actually, we just found the fucking the food tables.
Oh yeah,
dude, they were like we walked through this barricade. Okay, they barricaded the side street. All right, so then there's like this we walked like maybe 50 feet and there's like a connecting street and it's we walked out like one way it was barricaded and then the other way it wasn't, so they were clearly using it, but that was where all the fucking tables were for like
craft,
like craft tables, right? That's what they call
craft
them.
services.
Yeah. So fucking, they had these sandwiches we fucking grabbed, and they were wrapped up. We grabbed a couple of them. Then we saw some guy, and he was like looking. He starts walking towards us, and we're like, we just walked and turned and down another little side street, and then we just walked around. Then I go, there's a barricade. That means we're out of here. And we just fucking walked all the way back around to this car. We walked like 5 blocks around, but we were broke, man. We drove there barely making any money trying to sell perfume.
Yeah. That miniseries, just the premiere date was the other day, and it was 29 years ago it premiered.
Oh, yeah.
The stand. So that means you were there in Pittsburgh 30 years ago.
Yeah, it was 92, 93.
93, yeah.
It was 93, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely it was. Yeah, it was 93. It was that summer. Because I was only 20.
Yep.
But I had I still had I had the original license, and when I signed my signature, when they printed up, because they used to just print up what you would sign, like they gave basically it was like it looked like a paper license, like how your license was going to be minus the picture, and I signed it, and then they make a copy of that,
Okay.
and then they would laminate it with your picture, and it'd take like 6 weeks for you to get the motherfucker or whatever, but
Yeah.
So I signed it, and the way my one letter went over the 3 on the 73, it looked like a 2.
Nice.
But I never really cared about that until all of a sudden I was like, oh, I wonder if this will work. And it was like 1993. I went to a bar, and they fucking the guy let me walk in.
Nice.
Travers Tavern.
Travers.
And then I started going there, and I started going to Frantone's, and I started going to all the bars in the area. So pretty much the people who ran the door and checked IDs at these bars fucking would see me, so they just stopped asking me.
Yeah, but what do they do when you actually turn 21? Like, hey, wait, what?
I never showed the only time is the old Lou and Laurie's, when it was what was it, 5-star?
Shining Star.
Shining Star.
Yeah.
I'd buy beer in there, and he never said anything. And then one day I went in, and he asked me for my ID, and I showed it to him, and he goes, I knew you were underage or some shit like that. And I go, well, oh no, man. I tried to say, yeah, this is the first time I bought it. He goes, no, I sold to you. I'm like, oh, he goes, I don't care.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's your fault. You're the one to get in trouble, not me. For selling to an underage kid. Have fun with that. Yeah. But
the Maple Queefs.
I was hoping Phil would be listening tonight.
I was hoping.
Oh, wait. Actually, I need him to come back out because it's one more beer story, but he needs to hear it. So, I talked about my boss. And
is this the Boss lumber?
He drinks Keystone.
Oh.
Because he's like, it's not the best beer. And he likes his regular beers too, but what he always does is he's got a cottage right on the water in Lexington. He's had it for years. His family, he's from up there. His parents had one before him. Just these little cottages. He's had it forever. But that's what he does. When he goes on the beach, he wants to drink something that he can just drink and not worry about it because you won't get a hangover. Won't get a buzz, but
Right.
you won't get a hangover. But it's mostly water, so it's always Keystone Light with him. Yeah, and I was like, I didn't know they still made that, but it's the same thing. It's like 30 pack for like $15.
Yeah.
Anyways, this
Let's go to the embassy.
where he's like, I get it from Walmart because they'll sell warm cases of it. You guys just got a refrigerator, but it's like they'll sell for like $12. I'm like, yeah, okay, as long as you like them, that's cool. I've never had a Keystone, but I'm sure it's.
I have. It's like a natty. They don't really have much flavor to them.
That's what he says. He's like, it's okay enough. And then I can smash a bunch of them while I'm sitting there on the beach and not worry about it. I'll drink 8, 10, 12 of them.
And not tear himself up.
Exactly. He won't have a hangover, especially when he's dealing with 3 young kids because he's old and has 3 young kids. But anyways, I brought that back up because my boss, we have a lot of turnover in our building because not a lot of people have come back to work. A lot of them are remote workers now in our building because there's no hospital work going on in our building. It's just corporate.
Right.
So there's not a lot of people, which means there's a lot of extra furniture and tables and chairs and all kinds of stuff around. In fact, I might be able to get you another computer chair if you want it.
Yeah.
No joke.
This one that's totally uncomfortable. I
Yeah,
don't want to. I don't want to replace it.
I might be able to get a replacement for it. I'll see. I'll let you know. But anyways, so my boss, because his wife does stuff, she works out of her house now too. She just went back to work, but she works from home, and they do a lot of stuff in the house, like crafts and different stuff because they have young kids. But she needed some tables, so he's been like hoarding stuff and then figuring out which ones he wants, and he's been just taking stuff home. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So you want to help me with this thing? Put it in back of my car. I'm like, yeah. He drives a Subaru like me, but his is a shorter car than mine. So mine's a full length SUV. His is like almost like a hatchback version of the smaller car. So it's smaller, but you can still fit stuff in the back. So he's like, all right, help me put this in there. I'm like, okay. I helped him put it in there, and it wouldn't fit. So he had to like fold down the seats and then move up his passenger seat. And we finally got to fit. I just got inside the door, and he's like, all right, let's see if it fits. Now me, if I'm trying to see if something fits, I'll take the hatch and I'll lower it, see if it fits.
Right. Not slam it down.
He's like, let's see if it fits.
Wham.
Slam. And his back windshield just exploded all over
Blow
us.
out.
It exploded everywhere. There was not one piece of glass inside the frame left.
Is it
because the corner of the table, just the corner of it, was sticking out just enough. So when that window came down, it hit it perfectly precision point on a pressure point and just exploded this whole thing out.
Is it one of the windows that has the
The lines?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's another reason. They're a little
And they're made to break outward too.
Mm-hmm.
So that it makes sense. But he's thinking, he's like, I can't believe that just happened. I'm like, if that table would have been flat and it would have been the whole edge of the table,
It wouldn't have
busted.
Nope.
It's just because the corner
Yep.
just hit that and
Yep.
he just exploded.
That's it.
But I'm looking at it, I'm like, first of all, why did you slam the hatch on it?
Right.
When you say I'm gonna check, you don't just like, just slam it. You do it gently.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll fit. And then if you have to adjust it, you can move it around. He's like, let's see, slam, and he just stood there. I'm like, holy shit.
That just happened.
And then I laughed uncomfortably, but I laughed. And he just kept on saying, he's like, I can't believe that shit just happened.
I can.
I'm like, yeah, it was crazy. He's like, don't mention anybody. I'm like,
Oh no, I'm telling everybody.
I won't.
I'm telling it on my podcast.
Well,
we're telling
like,
potentially
it was
everyone
like-
on Earth right now.
It was
but-
like 3 weeks ago. So, but that same day, so he's like, don't tell anybody. So we swept it up, we got it up. He pulled his car back around to his parking spot, and he always backs in, so you can't see it anyways.
Right.
And he called up the company, and they're like, well, you can bring it up here and we'll wrap it. We can't replace it till next week. So he took it all the way to the glass place, and they sealed it with like plastic.
Yeah.
And did all that and stuff, but he couldn't get a new windshield till like the following Monday. So it was like 5 days. And he drives from Dryden
Yeah.
every single day. So he drives a lot with that thing just flapping in the wind back there. It's probably annoying as hell. But anyways, he's like, yeah, just don't tell anybody. I'm like, no, I won't take it. I won't tell anybody. So I helped him sweep it up, got everything thrown away, and then didn't say anything to anybody. And then all of a sudden, one of the ladies walks up. She's like, did you hear what happened to Steve's window? I'm like, wait, how'd you hear? He's like, oh, he just told all of us. I'm like, What? I wanted to tell people.
Oh, he ruined it.
So he told,
was
like,
sitting there going, he's going to tell.
So
he's
he
going to
didn't.
tell.
He didn't even give you the chance to betray his trust.
I am not even
and tell
joking.
everybody.
He did not make it 1 hour without telling somebody.
He
So
thought,
he told like 4 or 5 people. I'm like, I'm telling the rest. So I hurried up and told everybody else.
he went, that motherfucker's going to say something. I'm going to say it before he does.
I got to get out ahead of this.
One of the ladies was working from
Control
home
the
today.
narrative.
She was working from home today, and she called me up. She's like, yeah, we got to do this. I'm like, yeah, okay. You'll never believe what Steve did to his windshield. So I told everybody else that he didn't tell, because I didn't want to embarrass him, but he was like right away telling people about it. He was so embarrassed what happened. I'm like, Steve, I've never seen that before. I've never seen a window explode like that. Like, there was literally nothing in the frame anymore. It just like completely, it was either in the car or on the ground. It was nuts. It was great. I loved it.
Sweet.
Anyways, I was going to say, Jamie Foxx hasn't died yet, by the way, just so you guys know.
By the way, his daughter said yesterday,
Yeah.
you guys fucking this media motherfucker starting all these rumors. My dad's at home. He played pickleball.
Yeah, which is stupid because pickleball is the worst. But
Yeah, but
Which means he's dying. We know.
yeah, basically, like, he kept shit so private they didn't even know he left the fucking hospital and just kept making shit. That's how private that motherfucker was able to pull that. That is, to me, that's fucking awesome.
Yep.
Because like I was like legit, I was like, dude, he's a great entertainer. He's a great comic. He's a pretty important figure in Hollywood, in the black community, really. I mean, he's a good dude, you know? And I'm like, certain people, it's like, yeah, dude, it sucks when people die, okay? But like, he's a young man who's made a lot of great stuff, and he still has a lot to do. And like, I was like, I like him a lot. So I really didn't want anything to happen to him.
Yeah, because he's not one of the guys where you hear a lot of outside of his movies. There's no scandals that I can think of.
No. And it's funny because like I was reading something on Instagram. This girl wrote something, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I hope he's okay too. And then one person's like, back in like blah 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 this year, I worked on this set of a film that he was on, and he brought his daughter, and he couldn't have been more rude. And I'm like, why did you? I just said, why did you say that? I go, this had nothing to do with how somebody's been in there. We were just discussing that the guy, like, we hope he's okay, and you got to fucking bring you know. But the girl who wrote it, she immediately fucking like dropped that bitch off there though.
It's because you can't say anything about anybody anymore, positive or not, without throwing out something negative about anybody. Even if it has nothing to do with the subject you're talking about, somebody's always got to be negative about something.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that because I like being negative about shit too. I think it's fun, but
I just think
it's
like,
just way
better than being positive.
I just think it's like, okay, when you're
It's far
in the middle,
superior.
when people are commenting and having a conversation amongst themselves, and then somebody has to chime in with something that it made no sense. It had nothing to do with anything other than you had what you think was a bad experience.
Yeah,
but like they didn't even say that he did anything or said anything to her, just that he was rude to somebody in front of his daughter. It's like,
he probably like came off of a 17-hour flight.
Yeah,
his Xanax had probably worn off, and then you went up to him and bothered him where he hadn't slept in days.
Or who's to say he showed up on the set and his daughter was with him, and that person that he was rude to maybe was a fucking asshole. You know?
It's called context. You don't know exactly what the hell happened.
But it was just like, I was like,
yeah.
I'm like, we're not even discussing any. All we were just talking about, like, we hope he's okay, and then we're talking about like funny shit that he's, you know. Dude,
well, because it's funny.
That guy does his impersonations are fucking so good.
Well, I was gonna say because I don't know if his last one. But the last one I remember seeing was an HBO comedy special he did forever ago. It was when he made Any Given Sunday, so it was after that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you shared the thing with us about Charlie Murphy and talking about Prince.
Yeah.
And he had something similar on his where he's like, I got to meet Prince that day. And I'll tell you what, when he looked in my eyes, I was gay for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Like he made me, Prince made me gay. But he also talked about LL Cool J because they were making Any Given Sunday, and
Yeah.
LL got
He's a hardcore rapper. He's a hardcore rapper, but he's glossy.
He's glossy, but also he got really into it because he's not an actor by trade, obviously, but LL got into that movie. Like he wanted to. It's like he's living that football life.
Right.
He's doing the stuff, and he'd like get out there and get all intense. It's like, come on, we got a game. He's like, we got a game where?
Yeah, right. This is a motherfucking movie.
This is a movie.
Yeah.
And they got to like LL punched him in the face for real. Like they got into it.
Yeah, he's a hardcore rapper, but he's glossy.
He's glossy, but he always has lip gloss. He's like, oh, let's do making fun of him just doing his lip gloss all the time.
Yeah, he's like he was on like last year. He was on somebody's podcast, and I just saw a clip, and he was doing impersonations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot he's really good at. And then he went from like, dude, I don't even remember. It was like an old black comedian type, like he did, and then he went right into, he did. I thought Donald Trump was sitting in there with him. He does this fucking Donald Trump that was so fucking better than anybody else's I've heard.
No, dude's
Like blew everybody's away.
he's talented. I mean, not that untalented people deserve to die, but
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I just like, yeah, personally, I'm just like, dude, like
it would
he's
bum
like,
me out.
He's like somebody that like, yeah, I really did not want to see something bad. But then like yesterday, his daughter said like,
No, he's fine.
She said, you guys like nobody.
But maybe there are some lingering effects. Maybe that's why. Maybe because literally the first thing I thought of when I heard about a few weeks ago was like, they're not saying anything. Dude had a stroke.
Okay,
Craig said the same thing.
He definitely had something. He was on.
Maybe he's got some
on
droopy
the set.
face or something.
He was on the set or something.
No, he wasn't on the set when it happened. He was off set already.
It was after he left
Yeah,
the set.
yeah.
Right. Okay. But then, all right, so they're like talking about, they're writing these fucking articles the last 3 or 4 days. That's why I wrote that message to you and Craig. I was like, man, I really hope he's okay. Because they're saying, you know, these fucking Variety and all of them are saying, oh, his family is expecting, they're hoping for the best and expecting the worst. I'm like, whoa, wait, hold on, man. Like I heard he was doing fine, and all of a sudden, and they just kept going. They had no fucking proof whatsoever. There was no reliable source because only 5 fucking people knew what was up.
Here is something.
5 of his family and close friends.
I don't know if you guys have noticed this. It might just be me, but when I'm reading some of these articles and stuff, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I've noticed that what they do is they publish whatever the fuck they want to try to get clicks. I don't know. Did you guys notice this?
Yeah.
That they do
As
this?
you should.
So, but basically, I swear to God, it was before Guardians of the Galaxy came out. It came out last weekend, so it's just before that. And they're like, one article from this one thing said, it could make this much money in its opening weekend. And the next article from the same exact company said, Guardians of the Galaxy may not make as much money as they thought. It's like, so basically you just covered both ends of the spectrum.
Oh, dude,
it could make all this money, but it also could not.
Well,
no
yeah.
fucking shit. That's the
It's
way
like-
life works.
It's like when you go to like
but it's the same ones. Like, he may be sick, but then they're like, oh, he may be fine though.
See, like,
but you're
now-
publishing the same thing. You're going to be right no
The
matter
one
what.
that- The original article I read was from Variety.
Yeah.
And then the one about talking about like his family expecting the worst, a reliable source within the family
But-
that we talked to. I'm like, you didn't talk to fucking anybody.
If you go into the hospital today and you're sick, or like when you went to the hospital,
Mhm.
you're hoping for the best, but you're also preparing for the worst.
Right.
That's the way you live.
Right.
That's how you do things.
Right.
You can't just
Well, yeah, I mean, I know they were lying a lot about me too. You know, like all
The media
men-
was, yeah.
totally.
we kept on getting stuff all the time about
Yeah.
you from all of our fans.
yeah,
From the media stuff.
yeah.
We had to keep correcting it all.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was like really funny.
But as of right
because,
now,
like,
Jamie Foxx is fine, guys. Don't worry.
It's just funny because his daughter's like, all right, you fucking idiots, you guys didn't. But here's the best part of it. He's very known for, he keeps everything very private.
Yeah.
People didn't even know he was dating fucking Katie Holmes for fucking a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a while. But he's really good at it. And like now, I think he's a fucking chameleon because somehow with paparazzi probably just hanging out at every hospital in that area.
Yeah.
He fucking got out of a fucking hospital, came home, and is healing up.
Yep.
And
They never got him going to the hospital. They never got him coming from the
Nothing.
hospital. They don't
Yeah.
get him at home. That guy must know
Like,
every
he's a-
shortcut in the
He's
world.
a fucking chameleon, man.
He's awesome.
Yeah. So kudos to you, and I hope you're doing all right.
Now, when you went into the bathroom, Mike, Alan brought up something, and I was hoping Phil.
yeah.
I was hoping
you'd
Phil would be
lit.
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
because we got to wrap up soon. It's
The
almost
Maple
one.
Queefs.
But Phil
Didn't we
is
start
not
late?
listening. We started late, but we didn't start that late. It's 1:00 already.
Because it was like 10:20 something when we started.
Yeah.
Like-
No, we're good. We
But
got to wrap up.
I just want to wrap up at 1.
oh, okay.
So, anyways, Maple Queefs.
Yeah.
That's the Maple Leafs. For people that don't know,
Yeah.
they're out.
They're gone.
They're gone. So they made it past the first
What
round.
do you
for
think about that, Phil?
all these years? They haven't been able to make it past the first round. They finally do. And they're all like, "Oh, this is the year they finally made it past the first round." But I told you they wouldn't make it past the second round. So
You said it. You said it, and you tried to make it clear
At
that
this
that's
current
what
rate,
happened.
if you base it on what they've done in the past decade, 12 years of being not making it out of the first round, then they made it out of the first round, made it second round. At this current rate, they should make it to the Stanley Cup Finals by about 2041.
Right.
they're not
Yeah.
gonna.
Perfect.
Well, like at,
They won't do it then.
at the old shop that I worked at, that Neil still works at, his boss there,
Yeah.
is Canadian,
Oh,
lives in Canada,
Mm.
and is a diehard Maple Leafs fan. He's
That's
like,
unfortunate.
Yeah, he's like getting all excited. He's like, yeah, we're and he's like, it looks like we're gonna do it. And he's like, Neil just said, yeah, well,
Eh.
it never really happens for you. But if by some chance it does, the next team you play, whether it be the Bruins or the Panthers, they're
The
going to
Bruins are out.
annihilate you.
Bruins got knocked out too.
Well, the Panthers were hot. They
Yeah.
were hot last year. They like turned it on, and they've been slowly, secretly building a team.
That's what they do. They might not do great in the regular season, but they're built for the playoffs. That's what they want to do.
They were like they've been secretly building a team for like several years, and they played really good.
They also helped out the Red Wings.
Yeah.
Because they won that series, so now they're moving on to the next round,
Yeah.
and that caused the one pick that the Islanders had, or the one pick they had going to somebody else, moved down to the bottom 4, and it means the Islanders moved up another spot, or Islanders anyway. But that's the pick we get, so
Yeah.
we get our number 9 pick, and now we get, instead of 18, we get 17.
Nice.
Boom! Helped out the Red Wings. Thank you, Florida Panthers.
Did we get? So we got a first round. Yeah, because
We got two.
We
We
got,
got
a
two first
rounder.
round and 3 second round.
But we got a second first rounder next year too.
Yeah.
Because of the Bertuzzi thing, I think.
No, we didn't get a first rounder for Bertuzzi.
I thought it was supposed to be a conditional.
No, either way. It was a conditional second round.
Oh,
They did not get a first round for him.
okay.
Yeah, but either way,
We might sign him back.
we got 5 picks in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. But we have 2 first round picks again next year for some reason.
We might. Anyways, that was it. Just I was hoping Phil would hear it, but he's not. That's probably why he's not on here, because he knew
He doesn't want to hear it.
we'd lambasted him with it.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to follow us,
Hmm.
radiounderground.co.
You can't.
Oh, wait,
because
no, there's
we're
nothing
the
else. Just kidding.
leaders.
radiounderground.co.com. Get on there, check us out, see what we're doing.
Send us money.
I don't even have that set up.
No, like in the mail, send us money.
Yeah.
Send us mail to somebody.
Send a message that you want to send us money, and then we'll tell you where to send it.
Yes.
So because we had technical issues earlier, I wasn't able to play Andrew's song.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to play it now.
So we shall now.
And again, this is AWH Music on YouTube. You can follow him on YouTube, AWH Music. And thank you guys for checking us out. And maybe next week we won't have a technical issue, and we'll give you a full.
That's a lie.
Show.
We'll have one.
Yeah, there's something going to go wrong.
Yep.
Al's right. He's more realistic right now. All right, guys. Thank you.
I've got no salt left in my heart. So I'm waiting on. Shot some out 20 years ago. is in my mood.